Marks on 97.5, The Fanatic. How new is Sean Brace's pants? Well, the sticker that says the size of the pants are still on it.
Brand new. What size? Let's play a game. What size do you think of the pants?
36-30.
You saw them.
No.
Oh, that's correct.
Well, there's no way you're a 38 because you would be heavier.
Yeah.
There's no way you're a 34 because you wouldn't be.
I was 36, 32, and then a couple months ago I went to Banana Republic, and this dude was, I almost said on me, but he was doing his job. Anyways, and he goes, I don't think you're a 36, 32. Let's try these. So now I'm a 36, 30.
When you get older, you don't necessarily want them dragging.
Am I
on the
shrinking?
ground. Of course you are. I'm now listed at 5'9"3/4. Before I was listed at 5'10".
In that chair, you look like 7-footer over there.
Well, this is like a high chair. Good morning, everybody. Listening on 97.5, The Fanatic, WPEN, Burlington, Philadelphia. Good morning, everybody listening on the Fanatic app. Love the Fanatic app. Make sure you're downloading it so you can take it anywhere that you go, and you can listen not only live but also on demand. Great app. Everybody watching this morning on YouTube, good morning to everybody out there. Make sure you're subscribed to 97.5 The Fanatic on YouTube because you can watch our show live. Also, go back and watch it on demand. And we have a lot of off-air stuff that we do as well. And we're approaching 31,000 subscribers. So this it took a while to get to 30, and then it's been very quick to get to 31. So make sure you subscribe to 97.5 The Fanatic. As we say good morning, in for Ray Dunn, who's working this afternoon, Patricia Caputo. Hello, Trish.
Hi. Happy to be here again.
Good morning. How are you? A favorite of the YouTube chat?
Yes.
Some are saying that Ray's replacement.
So I hear.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's a high bar because the chat loves
I
him some
know.
Ray.
I kind of felt bad.
Don't feel bad. He deserves it.
Oh, well,
Ray sat in back-to-back shows, and it's like people are already thumbs down. Where's Ray? Where's Ray?
yeah, that's what I mean. I'm a little surprised.
But they can turn on you, just so you know.
Oh, trust me.
On a dime.
I've read a few things, and I'm like, I'm going to ignore that one.
Well, stay off of social media like I do. As we officially say good morning, he's got a smart water that looks like it's a liter.
Yes.
And the largest Wawa coffee possible.
24.
And he's wearing brand new pants. Mr. Sean Brace. Good morning, Sean.
Back and ready to go here on a Thursday, John. Excited as always. Lots to get into. Looking forward to it, man.
Did you sharpen your shovel for this weekend? Are we still getting 2 feet of snow?
2 feet is what I'm seeing.
Oh, my God.
We are in the C-section. We got precipitation blowing. We got cold weather coming down from the north. Collectively, we're talking about a juggernaut that's going to drop.
You did used to work for Fox 29,
yes.
So you have more weather experience than I do because you were on the set of the great weather people.
Let me tell you, the weather people, the most talented people in the industry.
Really?
Point blank. So all you people out there, all you creatures.
Howard Eskin, longtime weather hater.
Well,
It's hard.
That's perfect example. There. But you know what the go-to is. Oh, they can get everything wrong and they continue with their job. First of all, it's the weather. You know it's going to change. Mother Nature is unpredictable. That's number one. Number two is this. They riff off the top of their head. They move their own monitor. I have yet to see somebody that's in the world of meteorology not be good on camera. They are by far the most talented people in our industry.
Well, next lifetime, Sean, maybe you're a meteorologist.
I don't think I'm good enough. I don't think I got camera presence. I don't think I can work the butt and do the they don't have a teleprompter.
Screen. Yeah,
they don't have a teleprompter.
I've tried it before, and it is so difficult.
There you go.
Wow.
I could never.
I've never done it, but I'm sure I could.
Show some love.
Yeah, you'd probably get used to it, but the green screen definitely I'd be pointing at the wrong thing.
Right.
You're getting snow over here. It's in New Jersey. I'm pointing to Montana.
Well, and sometimes they draw pictures that look like other things on the map, and that gets them famous for life. But
We might do a rank 'em local weather channel later. Okay.
Got to be a lady?
No, later.
Later.
Yeah.
Later. All right. Yeah. Well, listen, the snow's coming this weekend. Hopefully not. I hate the snow. Anyway, so the big story in Philadelphia right now, and we have a ton of Philly stuff to get to, which we're going to do Eagles first, then we'll get into the Phillies and some fun stuff as well. But the offensive coordinator march continues as Matt Nagy, former Chiefs offensive coordinator, was interviewed yesterday by the Eagles. Per Adam Schefter, they have requested to interview Bears offensive coordinator Declan Doyle, who was the youngest offensive coordinator hired last year. He worked under Sean Payton. He obviously didn't call plays in Chicago because Ben Johnson does that. So, again, Now they're kicking the tires on guys that haven't called plays. So before, like they were swinging big for the Mike McDaniels in the day ball, and it was strike one, strike two, and there's not really a third big name. So let me ask you this. We talked about this yesterday. I heard Bill and Ricky yesterday talking about it, and Jalen Hurts. We know Emmanuel Acho yesterday more or less said, and like I don't believe anything that any of these people on TV say because there's no nuance, there's no real conversation. It's all right. If I say this for a minute, it's going to get 1,000 retweets, and then people are going to listen to our podcast or watch the clip and whatever else. But he said that the only reason why that Mike McDaniel would take the job over. Would take the Chargers job over the Eagles job is because of the quarterback. It's because of Justin Herbert and Jalen Hurts. And he had said that it's a huge indictment on Jalen Hurts that he took the job. And we started off with this yesterday. I totally disagree. I don't think it's an indictment on Jalen Hurts. And I'll say this. I don't think that there's anybody that has passed on, whether it's Daboll or McDaniel, and there really hasn't been anybody else that have told the Eagles, no, they're still going through the process. They didn't move on or take another job because of Jalen Hurts. Could it have contributed to it? Sure. But Mike McDaniel didn't look at it and say, oh, Jalen Hurts? Nah, man. Nah. No way. I'm not taking that job. There's a lot of other factors that go into it. All right, like Mike McDaniel, he's looking at it. His wife's from Southern California. He was in Miami before that. He's a finesse offensive coordinator. What the Eagles do is a lot different than that. Right? Like, for everybody that wants to act like that this is the best destination of all time because Jalen Hurts won a Super Bowl and was the Super Bowl MVP, and the Eagles have been to 2 or 3 Super Bowls and they win and they have Howie Roseman. For a husband, for a father, for a person, you're moving somewhere, and this is where you're going to live, right? So look at what's going on out there right now. There's snow on the ground. It's freezing freaking cold. They're calling for a blizzard of maybe 2 feet this weekend. We're egging the offensive coordinator's house. We're obsessed with the play calling. He's the Antichrist, Kevin Patullo. And if you come here and you don't win a Super Bowl, ultimately you're going to be judged on that. Now, you could have a good offense and people might like you, but this is not an easy place to come in and coach. It's not an easy place to play. It's not an easy place to coach. It doesn't mean you can't have success doing it here. And for the right candidate and the right player, it's a great place to play. Don't get me wrong.
Sure.
But for a guy like Mike McDaniel, all right, he looks at it and says, well, the Chargers are interested. I'll make the same amount of money. It's 80 degrees, 75 degrees in Los Angeles year-round. I can wear my capris. My wife's from California. Mm-hmm. I don't have to come here and have maniacs that are frothing at the mouth if I have a bad game in calling plays or coaching. It's a lifestyle thing.
Sure.
And looking at that, he's not looking at, well, this gives me the best chance to win a Super Bowl. By the way, just so people know, players and coaches aren't necessarily as fixated with winning a championship as fans are. It's their profession. So sure, you'd like to go out and win a championship. But like Bo Bichette, did he really want to be a Met, or did he really want the best contract offered to him?
Well, he said he really wanted to be a Met.
He was praying for an entire 12 hours, and they told him to go to New York.
Yes.
But the point is, there's a lot of different factors that go into it other than just you're picking Justin Herbert over Jalen Hurts. Maybe he would select Justin Herbert over Jalen Hurts. I don't know. But to make the case that it's because of Jalen Hurts strictly is ridiculous.
I agree with that. Everything you just said. Absolutely. I think we're lockstep. I would also point out that I think there's another factor that's being discussed when you start talking about McDaniel. And every one of these situations are case by case. Like, did they strike out on Daboll? Sure. But a quarter of the league is still looking for a head coach. And he very well, I don't know, should. A lot of people are saying that, but it looks like he is going to get one of those head coaching jobs. If not, then that's a different discussion. However, we'll leave that for another day. Back to McDaniel. The other factor that I don't think is being talked about enough is job security for the head coach. Harbaugh's not going anywhere.
Yep.
Nick Sirianni could be fired next year. If you are Mike McDaniel and you're saying, all right, I've been in the league for a little while, but I've been an OC 1 year with the San Francisco 49ers. I've been a head coach with the Miami Dolphins for 4. This is a pretty important step for him. He's got to get this right. And to sit there and say, maybe I go to the Eagles, the next thing you know, Sirianni's fired, and I could be the guy in waiting, I don't think that that's the right way of going about it or thinking about it. So for my money, I would assume that has to be a huge factor. You're right about the California weather. Nobody cares about the Chargers. They don't have a home field advantage.
If they're really good, he'll be McDaniel should be a head coach again.
Sure.
What a great job.
Yes.
If they lose, right back to surfing and whatever else you're doing, right?
And it's on Harbaugh.
Even the national media doesn't care.
Yep.
Justin Herbert is treated so differently than a lot of other quarterbacks in the NFL.
He is.
So is Josh Allen. Oh, Josh Allen. Hey, he cried. Oh, Josh Allen's the best ever. Right? It's a great point about job security. He's going out there. It's not like this is a pressure-filled situation. And Nick Sirianni very easily could be whacked at the end of the season.
Yep.
No, you're right. And another thing Acho said, and we don't need to play the audio because it'll just get me mad. He's making the case that
The speakeasy.
oh my God, it's so bad. But he's making the case that, well, look at you could be a head coach if there's no other place you would want to go. Look at Shane Steichen. Look at Kellen Moore. If you come here, you'll be a head coach, or you'll be fired. Because if you want to go 4 years, there's a 50% chance you're getting a head coaching job. There's a 50% chance you're getting fired. Yeah. Look at Brian Johnson and look at Kevin Patullo.
Correct.
So this is not an easy job. With that being said, the top two candidates that aren't going to be coming to the Eagles, and the Eagles wanted both of these guys. They swung for them. They missed. But there's nobody else out there that is available right now that's going to tell the Eagles no because of Jalen Hurts. If there's guys that have options, okay. Yeah, you might say, I would rather go somewhere else. And it has a lot more to do than just Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
It does. So am I worried about the offensive coordinator job here? So Zach Berman on with the guys this morning talking about the desirable offensive coordinator job. Here's Zach Berman from this morning.
Me personally, yes, because this has been a springboard job. In the past decade, 3 OCs have gone on to become head coaches. To me, that's not a coincidence. I think there are organizational factors when you look at the front office, when you look at the owner, that if you're an aspiring head coach, there's some pixie dust, for lack of a better term, that you might want exposure to. And also, if you look at the roster, there's a lot to work with there in theory.
Yeah, in theory. And we were talking about this yesterday. Is A.J. Brown here next year?
Probably not.
Agreed. Brandon Lee Gouton said there's a 0% chance.
Saw that
back
yesterday with you guys.
next year.
That's a statement.
So AJ out. You're going to have to replace him. Who knows who that is? Dallas Goedert back next year?
I hope.
Yeah, I hope too. I don't know. He might have priced himself out with the year
Correct.
that he had. All right, so no Goddard, no A.J. Brown. How's the offensive line doing these days? A lot of question marks, right?
A lot of question marks.
Okay. I like Devontae Smith. He's a good player,
Good player.
right?
Heisman Trophy winner.
So you like Saquon?
Love Saquon.
Still good running back.
Sure.
How about Jalen Hurts?
I'm a Jalen guy. It's in my bio. I had to put it up there after the hit.
Yeah,
you got to clarify from the beginning if
Okay.
you're going to do this stuff. I am a Jalen guy. Is he flawed? Yes, but I do believe what we have seen in multiple seasons that the right play caller, the right scheme can put this guy in proper position for this team to win. He is a playmaker. Is he perfect?
Is he?
No. Yes, he is.
When?
Well, John, they got to a Super Bowl and lost, and then they won another one.
Agreed.
So what did they do in those 2 years
Ran the ball.
that okay, well, then you know what, Howie Roseman, and for the most part, that was the plan of attack this year, and it was unsuccessful.
It's been proven you can win with Jalen Hurts as the quarterback.
Correct. Then they need to get back, strengthen the offensive line. Let's get back to running the football like they did last year. And again, it's not going to happen at that rate, but it's only going to make the offense work better.
You know what else has been proven? Passing offenses sucked the last 2 years.
That's fair.
And this isn't 8 games. This isn't 5 games.
No, unfortunately, it's a full season.
2. A.J. Brown complained about the passing offense the year they won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but we didn't have to throw the ball.
That's the difference. This year you had to. So my point of that is, and this is less about Jalen Hurts and more about the overall offensive roster, is this because Acho again, he said so many stupid things during it. The most talented offensive roster in football. Is it?
Hell no.
Not even close.
No, and they were making that case last year with everything in the offseason. This is a super team. Howie's great at his gig. This is not the best roster.
Right now, with the offensive line taking a back seat.
Yes.
Because of injuries, sure, they could come back and be great. But right now, this isn't the most talented offensive roster in football. Are you nuts?
They're not even playing. There's 14 playing right now.
I mean, I know Tank Bigsby might put him over the top as the second running back.
Grief.
610-632-0975. 610-632-0975. That's the phone line. That's the text line. Middays with Marks. John Mark, Sean Brace, Patricia Caputo.
And it did hit me. Could you imagine having the NFC Championship game on Sunday with the weather that's coming in? Once again, we're about to get hit. 20 inches, John. Are you ready?
No.
Deep.
I still have to go dig the snowblower out.
What happens if we were playing a home NFC? Nah, yeah, it would have been Seattle. But still, let's just put that to the side. Don't let that get into.
Yeah, if the
what
Eagles,
happens?
if the Eagles would have been good and Seattle, well, they wouldn't have played San Francisco if the Eagles won, right?
Correct.
So they would have played the.
Everything changes. Yeah,
everything
you're right.
changes. They would have played the Rams.
They're canceling that game. Is that NFC Championship game being played on Monday?
We're become a nation of wusses.
Yes.
As Ed Rendell said.
On this station.
On the station.
Was that Mike?
It was with Mike.
And you booked it. Right?
I assume I did. I don't remember when was that game. It was the Joe Webb game.
Correct.
Where they played on, was it Tuesday or a Wednesday? Because of the blizzard.
Yeah.
And Ed Rendell came on and said we've become a nation of wusses because they canceled the game.
In the title of his book.
It was crazy. Yeah, I don't know if you have the game, but you know why you don't have to worry about that? Because the Eagles weren't very good this year, unfortunately. Let's go to David in Drexel Hill. David, good morning.
Hey, how you doing? Let me just
Hey.
say something about the offensive coordinator before I say something about the Eagles and Jalen. Listen, if you was an offensive coordinator, right, and say you had 2-3 children and you were married, you were happily married, would you want to come here?
If I had
Knowing
other,
that the job is only going to last for a year?
well, if I had other
Because
options,
everyone leaves in a year.
well, that has happened. But if I had other options, it depends. All these guys out there that aren't employed right now would come here in a second because it's a good spot.
Yes.
But it
I'm
also,
talking about like a good guy that has options. I would want to go somewhere with a little more job security.
well,
Because I have been around, I know, and that's not coming to the Eagles as an offensive
right.
coordinator.
But also there is as has been said by a lot of people, if you do well, you could become a head coach. And these offensive coordinators that are coming here, that's ultimately what they want to do. They're not looking to go somewhere.
that's
They're not
good,
looking to go
too.
somewhere for 10 years. They're looking to get a head coaching job.
But what about if you just want to be an offensive coordinator for a couple of years to get your kids to junior high, or elementary, and you ain't trying to jump up and then go back to Texas after you've been in Philly in 1 year in the constant
That's not the
moving.
profession.
David, I'm not trying to go all Jordan.
Well, no, you're right too.
You know,
I'm just
forget
saying why
those
some of
kids.
them might not.
It ain't about the kids if you're a professional coach. It's not. Your livelihood is going to take a hit. Point blank.
Yeah.
But the
okay.
job, but David, the job security you're talking about is a real thing.
Yes, that is true.
Yeah, two guys have gotten
Yes,
whacked
and let
after
me-
1 year.
Let me ask y'all a trick question. How many quarterbacks in the entire league got more than 3 touchdowns than Jalen passing last season? Because he had a horrible season. And can I answer the question? Because
Yeah, because I don't know the answer. Yes,
It's only 3.
but it's a trick
It's only
question.
3
What's
quarterbacks that got more than 3 touchdowns than what Jalen scored. 25.
okay?
It's only because a couple of people got 26, I think 127, and the rest is only the top 2
Okay.
for passing. And guess what? Most of those quarterbacks, they got way more interceptions. Scored 25 touchdowns, got 24 interceptions.
So you're happy with
25 touchdowns,
you're
11.
you're happy with the quarterback play?
What I'm not happy with is that A.J. dropped the ball 3 times. Goddard dropped it once. The running back
Sure.
dropped it once. We could have easily won that game. And here's what I'm really not happy about with Jalen, because my wife is next to me laughing. That first time she ever heard me curse Jalen out, because I'm a big supporter,
Same.
is that he has to run.
Yes.
No.
He's got-
Thank you, David.
Wait,
Thank
hang
you,
on.
David. No.
I want to back David up by saying this is literally the first time that I've been critical of Jalen Hurts this year. The Chargers game, 4 interceptions, like to the point that, like I said, people are coming at me, just ripping me to shreds on socials, and I'm new to the game here, so it's taking a little bit. I know you were big time. I kind of went and talked on a solo cup for the last 6 years of my life. You were in a different world. So I start to see this, and I'm trying to respond to every one of them, and I just can't because, look, I am a Jalen guy. But he played poor in that game against the 49ers. Yeah, there were drops, but there were plenty of other opportunities for Jalen to make plays, and he failed to do so. You just watch these games. Watch Drake, and that's a tough example, but you watch these quarterbacks now, like Bradford is a prime example. He didn't want to throw the ball in the third row.
No.
He would hang, try and let his receivers get open. Jalen was just comfortable to live to see another day. That's fine for week 10, but a divisional or a wild card game where it's do or die, I need a little bit more, man. I need urgency.
All right, coming up, 610-632-0975. We'll talk more about some of the offensive coordinators that we're talking about. And just be honest. Are you happy with the passing game? Are you happy with the quarterback play? I'm not. And that's okay. It doesn't mean that I'm trading Jalen Hurts or I'm saying he's horrible. He's a Super Bowl MVP. Both things can be true. 610-632-0975. And also on the other side, Jalen needs to run the ball more. Jalen does not need to run the ball more. That's coming up next. Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
The Eagles are still looking. I'm Patricia Caputo with this Fanatic Sports Update. Eagles continue to search for an offensive coordinator. The Birds reportedly interviewed former Chiefs offensive coordinator Matt Nagy yesterday. Zach Berman joined the morning show to discuss the kind of coordinator he believes the Eagles are looking for.
They've been speaking to candidates of all different types of experience. Josh Grizzard has far different experience than Matt Nagy does. I do think they're looking for play calling experience at this point.
Another potential hire like Brian Daboll appears to be off the table, with Diana Rossini reporting that Daboll plans to be the next head coach of either the Bills or possibly become the offensive coordinator for the Titans. In the NHL, Flyers lost to the Mammoth 5-4 Wednesday night, giving up a 3-goal lead. Fly Guys have lost 7 of their last 8 games. The team is off tonight, but will head to Colorado as they look to bounce back against the Avalanche Friday night. Sixers will take on the Rockets tonight as they also look to bounce back after their loss to the Suns. Joel Embiid probable to play while Paul George is questionable. You can listen to Rockets Sixers live right here starting at 7 p.m. on The Fanatic. This update is brought to you by Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. It's happening again. Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship Saturday, February 7th. Knuckle Mania 6 taking over Xfinity Mobile Arena, and everyone's coming. Get your tickets at bkfc.com. I'm Patricia Caputo on the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and the Best Birds coverage. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Middays with Marks. Got Marks, Sean Brace, Ray Dunn, big TV star this afternoon.
Oh, getting the call to the bigs. Look at that.
So here's a question. Colarulo, it's one of these things, jury duty. One of these things where you call after 5 o'clock.
Sure.
But they just told him, no, we need the plan, so you just, like you're off. So even if you don't have it, you're off. How often I've never done jury duty because any time I've ever had the call, I don't get it. So, why can't you just play it by ear and then Ray is available to come in and work if Bill gets called in?
This is the type of deal that I don't know if I should say out loud, these types of conversations. But, I've never got that either sent to me. Let's just put it that way. With all love and respect to Bill, I think I know what I would put in front of the other. And that, I think
it wasn't Bill's call.
You don't want to get $7 a day from the U.S. government?
And prove that I got the letter. Let's start there. All right? I'm not going down there. No. You can do it without me. And it's just civic duty. You know what? We got other issues going on that we should be all worrying about more than jury duty if I'm going.
Right, like the Eagles' offensive coordinator job.
I'll pass.
Very important.
I'll move on. I think they'll survive without me down there.
I would love to do it.
See, I'm on the other side. That just seems like, oh.
I would love to do it. They never pick me.
Really?
Never. I would love to do it. I would like to see I would like to see the process of it and just see how inefficient it is. Because that's everything that I heard is you go, especially in Philadelphia,
Yes.
you go there and you're just amazed
Yes.
at how inefficient it is and people are just.
And that would irk me more than anything.
So I had a friend who, real fast, because we have to get to the important stuff like the offensive coordinator, that actually, so you're sitting there. And then when you do have to go down, you sit there and then a lot of times they're just like, all right, well, now you can go. So he's sitting there and they're calling out names of people. And they call out a name of an attractive lady. So he immediately goes to a phone and starts Googling her and finds her on Facebook. And she does mountain climbing or things like that, her hobbies you can see from the pictures.
Yeah.
So he starts talking to her and is and starts saying how he likes mountain climbing and things like that.
That's actually pretty impressive.
Yeah,
I got to give him that.
Yeah. That's not a hitch.
Didn't get a date, but went in and they started talking about the hobbies, whatever she showed on the Facebook.
I feel like that's definitely a movie. Jury duty, you get the Google search, the Instagram search, whatever it may be, and it leads to something. Yeah, I feel like there's been probably a script or two written like that.
Yep.
But I get it. And it's just one of those things that I'm like, all right, I'm good.
Yep.
And if I was on an afternoon drive show, I think I would probably pass it.
My mom one time was a third-degree murder trial. She was on a jury.
Dun, dun, dun.
And
I
they
had a family member. Their first case was something similar to that.
She voted. They voted not guilty, but she felt like she felt like everybody felt like he did it, but they just couldn't prove it. And it was everybody suspected. We think they. No, but seriously, isn't that crazy?
That's a hard spot to be in. Because it's morals and values, and then proof.
You need proof.
Yeah, you need
beyond
the
a reasonable doubt.
So there's no speeding tickets being debated down there. This is real deal stuff.
Well, you could.
It depends. Yeah.
Yeah, you could get any variety of different things. And I would love to. I would love to do it.
I would hope to get something simple.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, I don't even know what you not a traffic stop, but something.
nothing that no one's gonna come after me.
Petty
and be
larceny.
Yeah, something simple. All right, the guy definitely did it. Pay the time. Move
now
on.
with kids and everything, you got to find a baby. No.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's a lot. Yeah.
All right. Well, there you go. So we have a bunch of texts coming in, obviously, and you text us the same way you call us, 610-632-0975. One text, Patricia Caputo, talks about the offensive coordinator being another Sirianni puppet. I disagree with that. I don't think it's going to be a Sirianni puppet. With every with the first two guys coming off the board, the whole full autonomy conversation, now you're going down a level. So if you're getting a guy that doesn't have the same level of experience or success as those guys, of course, Sirianni doesn't necessarily have to give the same autonomy to those other candidates, right? And if you're getting a guy that's doing it for his first time, I would have to look at I don't think the Eagles want somebody that's going to come in and it's going to be a Sirianni puppet.
No.
It's been made pretty clear that they want somebody that's going to come in and is going to at least do a new offense. It's not just going to be calling plays for what they've been doing before.
Oh, yeah, and that's why I think the blame is going to be squarely on your shoulders as an OC for the Eagles for next year. So you better be ready to go from day one. I know that they wanted to be ambitious with this hire, John. I get it. McDaniel never really sat well with me. I just did not. There was part of me that wanted to see what it would be like because, for my money, I thought that his teams lacked the physical nature. And I know he had some successful seasons, some good numbers, but all in all, when you get up to cold weather games, those numbers were non-existent. Better opponents, tougher times in the playoffs, so on and so forth. So if Sirianni was handling, the mental makeup of it and in McDaniel's offensive scheme, okay, maybe you could have talked me into it, but it never really sat well with me. I do think that there are some other good candidates out there. Unfortunately, my number one, if that matters to anybody, was Zach Robinson, and now it's looking like he's going to end up with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Correct.
So, some of these things that we're asking right now to start the show off is how valuable is this job, or how many people out there really do value? Again, there's only 32 teams in the league.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, there's no indication that the Eagles wanted Zach Robinson, and he said, no, I'm going to the Bucs. There's no other jobs that candidates have said, no, I'm going to go somewhere else. The Eagles seem very comfortable interviewing people, and then at some point, there may be, all right, now we need to make a decision. Who are we going to hire among the candidates that are out there? And maybe they like somebody, and they interviewed them again. Like this 29-year-old he's 29 years old, this Bears offensive coordinator.
The kid from Jacksonville's 30. He's interviewing for head coaching gigs up in Cleveland. 30 years old.
Yep. Is it Declan or Declan? Whatever it is, Doyle.
Okay.
The Sean Payton coaching tree, first-year offensive coordinator under Ben Johnson. He didn't call plays, but you have to wonder. The Eagles have shown the ability to – they're good at hiring. Right? Like Patullo, no, that was internal. Brian Johnson, no, that was internal. But
Vic.
Yeah, Fangio, awesome.
Yep.
And while they hired Sean Desai, they got caught with their pants down because they were trying to hire Vic Fangio, and Jonathan Gannon held the whole thing up. But Andy Reid, obviously, Sirianni's been a good hire.
Eagles have a great operation. They're a great franchise.
They do.
Yep.
Absolutely. So if they were to go with the younger guy that didn't have experience, I would have to give them the benefit of the doubt.
Ooh.
They see something here.
Okay.
I don't know if it's what they want to do, but being that they've already lost out on their top-tier guys, maybe you go in a different direction. Because, Bobby Slowick is a guy that was good with Houston, then he got fired the next year.
I like him.
Okay, you like him? I have no idea whether I should like him or not.
Well, that's fair, and that goes with all of these candidates.
Right. That's my point.
Yeah. I can make the case, and that goes back to people that are freaking out about Dable and McDaniel. All right, I get it. These are household names, but they're flawed. What, you want me to go down the list? I got flaws on both of those guys. So it's
there's a reason why they're available.
Correct. And there's pluses for everybody as well. Slowick was a guy that, dealt with C.J. Stroud, had some success, and then unfortunately wasn't able to get that in year 2. Now we have a better look at C.J. Stroud. I wonder if it was all Bobby Slowick's fault.
Right, after this year, you're right. After this year, it does make him more attractive.
2 other things. One, I would just say, somebody that gets fired, I think you learn a lot from that. I don't know if it's something that I would look as a positive per se, but
it can be.
It can be, right? Yeah. So somebody like Bobby Slowick's been around the league. And number 2 is, I want nobody being hired. And like you pointed out, all right, maybe they need to look in a different direction because of their swinging and missing. They're very ambitious. I don't want anybody that's never called plays at the professional level.
Well, part of the problem with hiring the younger guy is if he comes in and he's great, he's going to be gone after 1 year and he's going to get a job.
I'm willing to live with that.
I am too, but for a guy that has experience, you're bringing somebody in, it's a risk if they've never called plays again.
Yes.
And if they actually can call plays and they're good, they're gone.
Correct.
At least with a guy that you're bringing in with experience, he has experience. And then if they have success, he probably leaves too.
Like a Matt Nagy would be a perfect example.
Nagy interviewed yesterday, who I have very little interest in.
Really?
Yeah, it just,
At this point in time, it's interesting to me. Again, I can make the case. I can give you pluses and minuses on Nagy.
Chiefs let him leave, which is weird.
He wants, that's a good call.
He was interviewing for head coaching jobs,
but this is not a head coaching.
He didn't get the head coaching job. He was with Chicago. He was the coach of the double doink team.
Yes, he was. He was not a good head coach.
No,
he was very flawed. Now, does Mahomes come with him?
No.
Oh.
He does not.
That's
Not
a
a-
sports talk radio joke. You
Oh,
like
you're
that?
a Hurts fan.
You're like, I am a Hurts guy.
No,
it's in
he's
my
not.
bio. It's in my bio. Check my Instagram page.
So you made sure everybody knows?
I'm a Jalen Hurts guy.
Did you
Until
put-
it comes to Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, come on.
Jalen Hurts do a good job this year?
At times,
Oh, we can't say that. He won a Super Bowl MVP. That means that he's awesome regardless of how he plays.
that's
according to some people.
absolutely how people go about this discussion.
All right, coming up, Zach Berman on the morning crew said that the new OC will have full autonomy of their scheme, but we'll see how that is. All right, so we'll talk about that. And then Hurts needs a familiar OC. Chris Long talks about that as well. That's all coming up next. Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
The Flyers have struck.
To the Phillies. Todd Zalecki is going to join us at 1 o'clock.
Nice.
Because you know why?
We have a good club.
Ooh.
It's a new one.
Yeah, Topper making the case, too, yesterday.
Oh, no, Topper is the champion of stop saying that we're running it back and that we're not going to be good. You can tell that he naturally is like kind of pissed that people are down on the team right now.
Well, that was one reaction at Citizens Bank Park. I think he wrote the script, and then he was awarded an award for like a good guy in the media yesterday in Cherry Hill.
It was the sports writers
There
banquet.
you go. Thank you. 121st, John. Next year. Let's make it down there. Anyways, and you know what? Shout out Jack Black. I saw him catching an award. Jack
Black.
Jack
McCaffrey.
Thank you.
Blackjack.
Blackjack, sorry.
I was going to say Jack Black. He got an award?
Jack, man.
Jack McCaffrey got an award?
Yeah.
Longtime columnist of the Delco Times?
Wasn't he on this station long time ago?
My first job at 950, Sports Talk 950, was producing Jack McCaffrey on Saturday afternoons.
Get out of here.
He would have Joe Santoliquito come on to talk about boxing.
Hey, now.
How about that?
Love it.
This is going back 2006.
Anyways, Topper's out there laying the examples. So maybe we'll have a little fun with that. I'd love to, because one would definitely, get you a little excited.
Top 5 answers on the board.
Oh, yeah.
All right. That's coming up. We'll do that maybe 11:30.
Nice.
There. So Phillies talk coming up here. Let's hear from Zach Berman talking about, that's the big question with the offense coordinator is, is he going to be a puppet to Nick Sirianni, or is he going to be able to run his offense? Here's Zach Berman.
I don't have that information as far as what the offense would look like in terms of the autonomy as you get further down the list. I do know that the new coordinator is going to have play calling power. He's going to bring in his scheme, but it's not a blank slate situation. It's not like you come in with all your coaches. It's not like you come in and pick your roster. So the autonomy is you don't have to come in and call the offense that was here before. But there are factors in place that, some are rigid, some are not, but it's not a blank slate situation when you come to Philly.
Yep. Yeah, so if guys that don't have any play calling experience, they're not just going to be able to come in and do whatever the hell they want to.
No.
Daboll could have done that. McDaniel would have done that, and that's who the Eagles wanted. So as you get further away from that, then you probably do have less power. Doesn't mean that, like, for everybody who thinks that Nick Sirianni is the one then dictating everything. There's a guy named Howie Roseman that's in a lot more control than you think with things like that.
I agree, but man, in that end of season press conference, Nick Sirianni said point blank, it falls on my shoulders. The hiring of these coaches fall on my shoulders. I'm with you though.
Yeah, they did a good job doing that press conference. I don't believe them.
No. Okay, thank you. Yeah, Howie Roseman is signing on the dotted line of who he wants to take over the OC. No doubt about it. The one question I have for you is, what's the most important thing when it comes to this next offensive coordinator? What is the most important thing? And it could be just Jalen Hurts, but is it getting Jalen Hurts to be a better passer? Is it to get?
Yep.
Is that what it is? That's the number one thing for you.
Evolution of the offense. It can't be like, I don't mind playing checkers, but you got to at least be good at checkers. Last year they weren't good at checkers. So if you want to play checkers and not chess, that's fine. I like a hybrid of chess and checkers.
Yes.
You're never going to be able to do what you did when you won the Super Bowl with playing checkers, but you do want to incorporate some chess into it. And it just felt like that Kevin Patullo never heard of chess before and was trying to play checkers with the same game that they had the year before. So adding some chess, maybe a couple passes over the middle, but really challenging Jalen Hurts, because when I will be critical of Hurts, a lot of people will say Patullo, the offense, things like that. I can't argue with that. Right? Like, so, but now he needs to be coached hard, and because we've seen Jalen take steps to being a better passer.
Correct.
And there's no reason to believe that he can't do that. You need proper coaching to do it. He didn't have that last year.
Yep. And that was something that took back his game. I'm right there with you on that.
Let's go to Chuck. Chuck in New York. What's up, Chucky? Good morning.
How we doing, everybody, this morning?
All right.
I got a funny story on the club Play on Words, and you mentioned the magazines yesterday, but when I was 12, 13 years old, riding around the tough streets of Lower Merion on my BMX, one of my buddies hit a brown bag and only to discover it was filled with club magazines. We tossed it in some woods in the park, and let's just say for the next couple of weeks we went back to that park.
Yeah. Now we're talking.
Anyway, I'm sorry, I got to stop laughing, but I'm calling because I don't think that the offensive coordinator position is as attractive as one might think. Sure, you've got success, you've got a decent roster, but there are so many question marks on that roster between a healthy offensive line. Is A.J. Brown coming back? Are you signing Dallas Goedert? And then, is our quarterback regressing when faced with more challenges and can't play checkers? Then you got, Sirianni, who apparently will take a step back. But as you said it, Roseman's in plenty of charge, and I'm sure he's not needling around. And then you got, Jeff Lurie and young Julian in the wings. Like, there's just so many question marks. And, you're either going to hit big and become a head coach somewhere, or you're going to be looking for a job next year.
Yep. Good stuff, Chuck. So I'll push back on what you said. It's not desirable. I disagree. It wasn't desirable enough for Daboll or McDaniel to say yes. You know what's desirable to? Everybody else. Because right now, you know why the Eagles haven't hired anybody? I think they're in a holding pattern to see what happens with Joe Brady.
A quarter of the league is in a holding pattern now.
There's no Zach Robinson got hired. If the Eagles wanted Zach Robinson, they would have hired him.
Yes.
All right? So all the other guys, no one else has been hired. So Joe Brady, it's all going to depend on who gets hired in Buffalo. If Daboll gets the job, Brady probably exits because that's Daboll's offense. He wants to call the plays. Brady's not going to want to do that. If they hire a defensive coordinator, then it makes sense for Brady to stay because he doesn't have to change his offense. He's done a good job up there. They've had the same offense. He's the offensive coordinator. Eagles are slow playing this. They're interviewing candidates. And if Brady becomes available, I'll bet you they try to pounce on him. Then we'll see how desirable this job is. And I'd be surprised if Brady, it all depends on what the other options are out there. But you give me the better option out there for teams that are looking for an offensive coordinator.
Joe Brady would be a great get.
Yep.
Also want to remind people that there are 4 teams playing. I don't know who's available from each team, but you have to add that into the equation, especially if they're interviewing this young Declan from the Chicago Bears who's 29 years old.
Right.
My goodness. You just don't know who is available that they could be knocking on the door there, too, as well. The whole league seems to be in a holding pattern. I thought Harbaugh was going to be the one domino. Everything would follow. It did to a point, but then the Buffalo Bills gig opens up, and that is a huge.
People didn't necessarily expect.
No, not at all.
And like when Saleh got hired, a lot of people were like, "Well, thank God that leaves Daboll available." It actually hurt the Eagles in that because then he goes down there if he doesn't get a head coach.
It's funny how that works.
Yep, but like Josh Grizzard or Jim Bob Cooter, or Mike Kafka, or
no Kafka. I'm good on the Kafka stuff. I know he was drafted. I've been paying attention to him because he was drafted by the Eagles over the years, and a lot of people have made a huge deal about him. Then he got an opportunity to take over for the Giants. I didn't like the way he was addressing teams. Stupid stuff. If he comes in and he's got an offense that wows Howie Roseman, I can understand it, like you were pointing out, but I'm good on Kafka.
Doesn't seem like there's a ton of interest necessarily around. He's not a hot candidate. He might end up getting a job.
Sure.
But he's not a hot candidate.
Cliff is a guy that watch out for. Kingsbury. He could be a little snake in the weeds.
Cliff also wanted Stoutland gone.
All right, well, then that's not going to work
Cliff
out.
Well, maybe this time around he says no, because he wants to run his own running thing, and Stoutland has his philosophy of doing things. He's the run game coordinator, so it didn't work. He wanted to come in and do his own thing with his own staff. It doesn't seem like Stoutland's going to be shown the door. So if Kingsbury comes in and says, "Oh, hey, Jeff, no, I love you.
Yeah.
Let's do it."
The ultimate soap opera reality show, the NFL, and the Eagles.
And the Eagles, for sure. All right, coming up, we can shift to the Phillies here. Rob Thompson addresses those who have concerns that the team plans to run it back. They're not running it back. And if you don't believe me, I'm going to shake it out of you. And are we being too hard on the Phillies? That's my question for the people out there. Are we being too hard on the Phillies?
Ooh.
You might have heard they won 96 games last year.
There's a banner.
And
we have a good club.
We do. That's next. Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
The Eagles are still looking. I'm Patricia Caputo with this Fanatic Sports Update. The Eagles' search for offensive coordinator continues. The Birds reportedly interviewed former Chiefs offensive coordinator Matt Nagy yesterday. Zach Berman joined the morning show to discuss how desirable this offensive coordinator position is.
This has been a springboard job, and the 3 OCs have gone on to become head coaches. That's not a coincidence. There are organizational factors when you look at the front office, when you look at the owner, that if you're an aspiring head coach, there's some pixie dust that you might want exposure to.
Brian Dable is now off the table for the Eagles as he plans to be the next head coach of the Bills or take the offensive coordinator position for the Titans, according to Diana Rossini. Flyers have off tonight after losing to the Mammoth 5-4 Wednesday night, giving up a 3-goal lead. The team is off tonight, but will head to Colorado as they look to bounce back against the Avalanche Friday night. Sixers will take on the Rockets tonight as they also look to bounce back against the Suns. Joel Embiid probable, Paul George questionable. You can listen to Sixers Rockets live starting at 7 p.m. right here on the Fanatic. This update is brought to you by Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. It's happening again. Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship Saturday, February 7th. Knucklemania 6 is taking over Xfinity Mobile Arena, and everyone's coming. Get your tickets at bkfc.com. I'm Patricia Caputo on your home, the Flyers, Sixers, and the Best Birds coverage. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Okay, I'll take it out. I got it.
Ray.
How about
And you know what else he
that?
does with the stupid show sheet that he gives me?
No.
It's like the 12 o'clock hour is not like, look at his slop.
Ray.
And it's not your fault.
I did copy and paste that.
Ray.
I will admit.
I know you did. But he's the producer of the show.
That
You're
is
supposed
correct.
to be using the same thing. When Sean used to, when I worked with Mike and you used to sit in for me, weren't you doing, like, I would have to take care of the entire show and then Sean would fill in everything else.
That's how it would work, yes. But I will just point out that you did not mess up the show sheet, because if you did, that allowed the opportunity to hear a few things, and you always wanted to avoid that. Not you, Patricia.
See, unless you
are
work
good.
with Bill. You can't mess up the show sheet if you don't do the show sheet.
Oh.
Oh, so he does it.
Oh,
He does.
and Bill admits he's like, I do it all.
Bill,
And he's good at it. Like he's great at
Well,
it.
I'm going to start doing it because, look, the 1 o'clock hour is here,
Oh goodness.
and then you have to go through everything, and then it's like, oh, the 12 o'clock hour is all the way over here.
John,
on a separate page.
I'll just be upfront with you.
Right there.
He's a rising star. He's a fill-in on the midday show television. He calls Temple women's soccer and basketball.
How about that?
He's calling men's games on ESPN Plus next to Fran Dunphy. I'm saying, yeah, Ray's got a couple other things going on right now in his mind.
All he's got to do is set up the sheet where the 12 o'clock hour is first, the 1 o'clock hour is second.
That and take that song out of the rotator.
I will say I didn't catch that. If I caught it, I probably would have moved it for the sake of my mind.
Yeah, but that's not the point.
It's not the point, Patricia.
It's happened a couple times where it's like this whole stupid rotator.
Yeah.
It's new to us because what did we do?
I just sent her clips, and she said, "Could you send it?" Not, we're throwing her into the bus. That's fine. And she goes, "Can you send it to Nate too, so you could put it in a computer?"
Well, I can't put it in on this end.
No,
I guess I can.
Vox Pro.
Yeah,
you're right. I
you
can.
save it and
That's
you
a total
import it.
lie.
Okay.
Yeah, but see, like, unfortunately, I haven't trained these producers, so they do it.
But
whatever chaotic way they do things.
I will say he's probably logged into his email, and I'm not on here, and that's why I asked him. Because I was like, he can just pull it and then put it in.
Oh, I don't care how you get it done, but
yeah,
get it done.
Get it done.
All right, we'll move to the Phillies in a second. We have this nice long segment right here. So I go out there during the break, and everybody's talking about what we're going to do with the snowstorm. Because I guess the arrival's supposed to be Saturday into Sunday into Monday.
Sounds about right.
Is that correct?
Yep.
I just checked. Yeah, I heard late, like early Sunday morning, like 12 a.m.
So overnight Saturday
Correct.
into Sunday, and then all day Sunday into Monday. I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do. They're getting hotel rooms and stuff, and like I was saying out there, like I don't want to work from home. I want to come in here, but in situations like this, there's this thing. It's new. It's called technology.
Yeah.
Where you don't have to be in studio in cases where you're going to have 2 or 3 feet of snow.
Yep.
And we could jump on something, and then it can be the power of running it through the board, and we could potentially be on the air if it's a major emergency. And like if I do this job and I take it very seriously, I would never, like I'd said to Vito out there, I'll be dead or on the side of a road before I'm not on the air on Monday. Period. If it means I have to stay in a hotel, I'll stay in a hotel. If it means I have to drive in, I'll drive in. I will be here.
That's how I looked at it as well.
It's my duty.
Yeah.
We're on the public airwaves. We're going to do it.
Pandemic. I got a card. Did you get a card? One of those red cards in case you got pulled over? What were we? We were emergency workers or whatever?
No, we were.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy how it was viewed, but that's how I've always taken it to, and obviously years of doing it with you. Yeah. Look, man, if we're on the air, we're on the air.
Yeah.
We're here.
So I don't know if it's going to be a hotel. I don't know if it's going to be me driving through the snow. I have to kind of see how it's lining up.
You're a little farther than me, but I will be driving it. I've done the drive in.
Me too.
Multiple inches of snow, and I'll throw the RAV4 and some 4-wheel dig. It's got one button.
Well, it's like a video game if you're driving a RAV4.
Yeah, whatever.
There's nobody else on the road, so as long as it's kind of plowed,
I'll be here.
Because I've stayed in hotels, but
I have. They put me up in the hotel a few times here.
I don't think when I worked at the other spot, I stayed in a hotel. I just always drove in because now I'm more concerned about I don't want my family to be trapped. We have older parents, and like I can't be like, all right, well I'm going to go stay in a hotel for 2 days, and how are you going to get out? There's 2 feet of snow. You're stuck there. Yeah. What if something happens in case of an emergency?
I went shopping yesterday, man. I stocked up.
Stocked up?
Everything was pretty good as far as quantity wise. The only thing that was down was eggs. The eggs were out. Other than that, TP, water, plenty to choose from. Now, that was yesterday. Last night, I would imagine today it's going to be a little bit of hysteria.
It's going to be chaos.
Yeah, chaos.
All right, well, get your stuff now.
Yeah, did a little Target run, a little Giant run.
I actually need rock salt. That's the first thing I'm doing when I leave here. I'm going right to my neighborhood True Value, and I'm getting a big bag of rock salt.
Well,
I'm out.
2 feet of snow, you won't need that. But
when it's all, I needed it this time, and I didn't have it.
Yeah, the ice was
bad. Yeah, it wasn't good. All right, your Philadelphia Phillies. 11:30. What's the game we're going to play, Sean Brace?
Well, this is top 5 reasons why Rob Thompson is a believer in the 2026 Philadelphia Phillies.
He's a believer.
Oh, he's got the pom-poms out.
And you know what? He believes it.
Well, he's also the head manager. He better believe it.
Right.
If there's one guy that needs to believe it, it's him and Dombrowski.
But so here's my question. I actually saw your boy Luke Arcady had put it up there.
Yep.
On Twitter, and he said we're being too hard on the Phillies.
He did say that.
And I looked at it, and the responses were, you knew it was coming, right?
Sure.
But he's not wrong. Like, he's also not right. When I say so he's not wrong and he's not right, because we should be hard on the Phillies because they're the ones that screwed this up. They didn't have to pursue Bo Bichette. They could have seen in the offseason, hey, like, why didn't they, when the offseason commenced, why wasn't part of their plan, we need to upgrade, Bo Bichette's available, Bregman's available? Why wasn't that philosophy? All of a sudden, when JT's being a pain in the ass, now they're like, oh, Bo Bichette's available. Why wasn't that the plan to begin with? We didn't put them in this predicament.
Correct.
They did. They're the ones that thought they had to deal with Bo Bichette, and they didn't. And they got stood up at the last second, and they're still shook by it.
And you know what is irking me more than ever is, let's rewind. Kyle Schwarber was a gift. Kyle Schwarber was a gift for the contract. He wasn't going anywhere else.
Did they sign him? Oh, because Dave Dombrowski said that people forget we signed Kyle Schwarber.
That's fine.
I did forget about
Yeah,
it.
Schwarber, 56 bombs last year.
I forgot.
Yeah, runner-up MVP. Had a great season. Understood. But that was the gift. That was the one on the tee. So where I'm at right now is you have to ask yourself, is it a financial problem with this team? Part. But I'm not willing to just give them the benefit of the doubt and say that's the reason why they're not. No, it's execution, John. It's front office execution problems, and it starts with Dombrowski. He's not creative. He's not out there being creative as far as possibly with some trades.
Nope.
Bringing back JT seems like it was always on the table until Bo Bichette. This is really starting to irk me now more than ever. And yeah, they're losing out. They're missing out on a guy like Bo Bichette, who I think would have been a huge difference in this lineup. You're kidding yourself. You don't. But bottom line is there's still other ways to improve your team. And this team was not good enough last year, and they're clearly not as good right now.
Well, and that's the problem with the, are you being too hard on the Phillies? No, they had a team that was close to beating the Dodgers. They do have a good club.
Hang the banner.
But they didn't. They didn't beat the Dodgers.
Took one game.
So what happens, what would the Eagles' philosophy, or what would the Ruben Amaro Jr. philosophy be if you went to a World Series, you completely fell apart in the NLCS, you lost to the Mets, you lost to the Dodgers. So run it back, and I know it's not full run back, but running it back with the same core, except you lose Ranger Suarez, you improved your bullpen, so maybe that's a wash right there. There's real question marks in the starting rotation. You see, like, being too hard on the Phillies, the people that say they're winning 82 games, well, that's being too hard on the Phillies.
Yeah, sure. I can get that.
This is still a playoff team. Yeah. You know, like, on paper, we'll see how it actually plays out. I still think they're a good club, as Dave would say, but they're not improved. If you're close and your window is clearly closing, because if you were in the World Series and each year you've kind of taken a step back, each year the window's closing. What have you done to open that window and try to extend it? When they almost dumb lucked into Bo Bichette, that could have done it.
Yep.
As it stands right now, they tried to trade Alec Boehm for 2 straight years, and they ended up not trading him. And he's your cleanup hitter right now.
It's funny you brought up core, and you look at what the 08 core was, who, oh, by the way, have 2 potential Hall of Famers, and Jay Rowland, Chase Utley, a conversation for another day. But still, you look at how good that core was that did get to the promised land and win a World Series. Ruben Amaro tried to improve it every
year.
Single year. Now you got this core who is clearly not as good as Ryan Howard, Jimmy, Chase, so on and so forth.
Jason Worth, Victorino.
You go down the list. Clearly not as good yet.
Then he went Roy Halladay. Cliff Lee, Roy Halladay brought back Cliff Lee, Roy Oswalt, Hunter Pence. You tell, like, Ruben always got a bunch of crap because it didn't end up working out.
Mm-hmm.
I wish Ruben was in charge of this team right now. They wouldn't be standing pat. This is a Ron Popeil set it or forget it philosophy from Dave Dombrowski. Seriously, he set it and forget it.
He's content. When he put that out there, John, I wanted to lose my mind.
He is.
Content. How could you be content? You didn't win anything last year.
I correctly predicted the Howie Roseman press conference. He would talk about urgency, and it's never like you're not going to win every year, but it doesn't mean that you're not trying to win every year.
Yeah.
And you're not making moves that are stupid to try to win, but you're making moves to try to win because the window's open. That's where the Phillies are right now, and they're not acting like it.
And now, unfortunately, can I bring up the elephant in the room? And I get it. A World Series is a World Series, and that's where we all need to be thinking. But now you have the New York Mets, your hated rival, In all of the Philadelphia sports, it's number one. Everybody hates the Mets. It's not the Giants. It's not the Devils. It's the New York Mets. And you have Steve Cohen, who is a big market team and understands the urgency. Did they overpay? Of course.
That's what you got to do sometimes.
You have to do it, man.
Yep.
These flags don't fly at a discount. You got to go out there and make it happen. And now I'm asking myself, when you get a guy like Bo Bichette and you give him the opt-outs, if you're a Phillies fan, who cares? If Bo Bichette was offered the opt-out after 1 year, I get it. Is it something that's going to be discussed in August and September and it's going to irk you? Fine. But if he produces, that's all that matters.
But I agree and disagree with you at the same time. It's a 1 year. Like, worst case, he has a great year and he opts out. And you got to pay him or let him walk. That means he had a great year.
He produced for us in this year.
And you didn't give up anything for him but money.
That too.
And then if he had a good year, but he still wants to stay, then you have him again, and then you have him again. So there's really no risk for the Mets other than he sucks, which can happen with any player that you sign, and it's only 3 years. You're not getting a guy Anthony Rendon, who was maybe the biggest bust of all time. You're not signing some scrub to a 10-year contract. If he has a great year, he's gone. You have no risk. The Phillies couldn't do that. There's another thing. Uncle Jamie texts me and says they're bringing Bader back at this point. I disagree, and here's why. I would like for him to do it.
Sure, me too.
Where's he playing?
I think he's a starter.
Where?
He starts the season off in center field. Crawford does not start center. Okay, then you're going to get in a conversation. Crawford's only coming up here if he's getting the bats, and that makes sense.
Yeah,
but Bader's a starting outfielder.
Agreed. But when they signed Garcia, they moved away from Bader. I'm not telling you I'm happy with their outfield, but unless you're using him as the platoon, and you're not putting Crawford and Marsh as a platoon, they're both left-handed hitters.
Correct.
Garcia's being paid $10 million to be your right fielder. So if you sign Bader, and it would have to be a drastically reduced contract, I don't even know if you can fit it in then. But let's say the market's not there for him, and you bring him back, give him $5 or $6 million. He's a platoon. And you're platooning him with Crawford? What about the at-bats? Maybe Crawford plays some left field as well. There's not a fit. But it does make a little bit more sense now that you bring back Bader. I still don't know if they can do it.
It make me feel a little bit better.
Me too.
But, in the grand scheme of things.
Is he coming back to be a platoon?
No.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
He's going to get a starting gig somewhere.
Yeah, so you're not bringing him back then?
The
There's
way
got
I
to be
view
some market. He's hoping he's going to get the 3-year 30 or whatever he's doing. At this point, maybe he's wishing he took that $10 million from the Phillies.
Tell you what, a young team, that's the type of guy that you would like to have on your squad. He was a leader by example. Now, he played well. Am I getting a little overhead? Is he going to be able to do that the next stop? I don't know. But Bader was a guy that I would like to have on my team. I was a Bader guy. That was also in my bio. I'm a Jalen Hurts guy. I'm a Bader guy.
Yeah, this was the Bader. This is Harold Reynolds and the Versegian guy, whatever that guy. So play this. This is Harold Reynolds talking about needing Harrison Bader.
Dave Dombrowski made some statements yesterday talking about where the Phillies are in terms of their offseason plans, rebuilding. Are they done? Are they not? This is what they've done. This is who is still out there.
I still think they got to re-sign Harrison Bader. I don't. That guy turned the light switch on for that team. He's an igniter. I think you got to bring him back and play him for a full season.
Yeah, I wouldn't contest that.
All right. Well, okay, but
sure.
Okay. Here, it really, these guys, they're not doing, when you look at some of the ESPN guys like Stephen A. Smith, he's so watered down because he's doing everything. He's doing First Take. He's got his political podcast. He's got Sirius XM. He's got everything. So it's like he doesn't even know what's going on. The producers are giving him a lot of information.
A lot of it.
He's not plugged in on every sport. This is what these guys do for a living. There's some reporter from New York that put out that the Phillies were going to be the mystery team on Cody Bellinger. Are you actually paying attention to what's going on? They don't have $35 million to give to Cody Bellinger. They don't have a position to give to Cody Bellinger. If they would have said, hey, in the offseason, we want Bellinger, we're not going to sign JT. When they re-signed JT Realmuto, that was their move. Now, Bader at a reduced salary because there's not a market, okay, maybe. I just don't see it being a fit at this point.
Bader declined his half a $10 million mutual option for 2026, seeking more than $10 million annually on a multi-year deal is what he's looking for.
He could have came back at 10, and the Phillies probably would have said yes because it's 1 year. There's no risk. He wants 3 years at 30 plus. It's not out there for him right now. So if the money isn't out there, then you have to say, okay, is this a good enough opportunity for Bader? He's not going to be a starter. It's actually probably best for what he is, which is a plus platoon, the right-handed platoon.
Agreed.
He's never been able to stay healthy.
No, you're
With
right.
the Phillies last year, he wasn't healthy. Remember the playoffs when he wasn't healthy?
Yep.
So, yeah, it would make a lot of sense if he was the platoon, the right-handed platoon of Marsh. Why would he be a platoon when he's going to get a starting job somewhere? He's not.
That's the way I always viewed it. And again, the market is the market, so we'll see how that one plays out over these next few weeks because it's getting close, man. February is on the horizon right now on January 22nd. So pitchers and catchers, I think Thompson said he's leaving next week to head down there. He's ready to go. So am I. Philly season right around the corner.
Are you going down spring training?
I hope.
I'm not.
Can we get a
show down there? No.
Can we get a trip down there?
No, we don't have the Yingling money like we did. Sean and I,
Dutch.
Trish, Sean and I went down when we were working middays here. Darren Dalton talking baseball with Dutch was at the station. Was this after he was diagnosed with?
No, I don't believe so. I think this was before.
Was it
right?
before?
I want to say it
Before
was.
the cancer diagnosis?
Yeah.
But we went down. Yingling was one of his big sponsors, and we went down to spring training. We did a broadcast at the Yingling factory in Tampa.
Unbelievable.
And Dutch was there with us for the show. But we did a giveaway. We gave away five trips with us. So 5 trips for 2. How do we do this? Airfare,
I know how.
Hotel.
Shout him out.
With you guys?
Jeff Moore, with us.
So you met.
Radio
we did 5 events. I did 5 events. Radio was different.
Radio was different.
How many years ago?
2013.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. So we did 5 different events around the area, and at that event, it was an enter to win, where you went, you put your name in the ticket, and at the end of the event, we drew it, and that's who ended up winning it.
It's a heck of a bar giveaway.
Yeah, nice.
So trip for 2, airfare, hotel, transportation.
Pretty great.
And we end up, we were supposed to leave, and our plane had a problem. And we couldn't take off for hours.
Yeah.
So we ended up missing. We were supposed to do an event at the Brown Boxer that night that we missed because we didn't get in until after midnight. But everybody ends up getting hammered in the terminal at the bar.
Yeah. Good times.
Security had to come over because we were so rowdy, if you remember.
There was a softball team.
Yes.
Was it Temple softball?
It was.
I was practicing with them. Oh yeah, we were.
That would be a news at noon now.
Oh, it was great. It was a great time.
It was great. Yeah. So we went down to spring training and with a bunch of listeners.
No chance this year.
I don't think we can do that, but
Oh
yeah,
man.
if you buy a ticket.
We have big snowstorms we have to handle first. We got a lot of hotels we got to get.
Yes, that's going to take up the hotels down there. Big
Okay.
hotels coming up here.
There's nothing better than of course Clearwater.
One of my favorite places that time of year, man. One of my favorite places ever. All right, couple other things on the Phillies here, and then we'll come it up. We'll do top 5 reasons the Phillies are fine according to Topper. Aaron Nola pitching for Italy. Insert your meatball jokes now.
Yeah. Some of the things he said too. It's like what? Whatever your pride is, I'm not here to talk you down.
I have zero interest in Aaron Nola pitching in the World Baseball Classic, in particular after the season he had last year.
Pitchers are a different monster. I know they have to have some pitchers to compete, but it's a different animal when it comes to my pitcher. I don't want him out there either. Bryce Harper, I don't care. Batters, I don't care. And I understand anything can happen. Diaz, remember Edwin Diaz blew out his ACL
for the season.
Correct. So bad things can happen.
Right. Well, I mean, and you worry about because you have in spring training, you're coming along slowly, and then you're getting in spring training games and you're working on location and getting your velocity. You're pitching in legitimate competitive games.
Oh yeah.
And by the way, for Italy, I get it. You're Italian. Your last name's Nola. You're not playing you're not pitching for the U.S. You're pitching for Italy. Give me a break.
Yeah.
Enough of that. Taijuan Walker's pitching for Mexico, and Chris Sanchez wants to pitch, but he hasn't heard back from the Phillies on that yet.
Well, I hope they answer it one way.
Yeah.
Sorry.
To start with N and O.
Correct. You had a hell of a season, Chris. Let's focus on
214 innings.
Yeah, let's focus on the real season.
They need 'em.
It's hard to sit there and say that because they're all passionate for their country, and I respect that. But when you're a pitcher, it's just a different monster. It really is. Remember Trey Turner was red hot.
Oh, we got the best player ever. And then he came out ice cold. Yeah, I don't want any pitcher pitching in the World Baseball Classic. Oh, and by the way, we have 60% of our rotation that could be possibly pitching. What could possibly go wrong with that? Yeah, they got to tell Sanchez no.
The timeline is going to be very enthused supporting the WBC this year.
All right, coming up. Top 5 reasons the Phillies are totally fine because Topper said so. Sean Brace has that for you coming up next. Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports
The
Update.
Eagles are still looking. I'm Patricia Caputo with your Fanatic Sports Update. Eagles' search for an offensive coordinator continues. The Birds reportedly interviewed former Chiefs offensive coordinator Matt Nagy yesterday. Zach Berman joined the morning show to discuss the kind of coordinator that the Eagles are looking for.
They've been speaking to candidates of all different types of experience. Josh Grizzard has far different experience than Matt Nagy does. I do think they're looking for play calling experience at this point.
As of Wednesday, Brian Dable is off the table as Diana Rossini reported that he plans to be the next head coach of either the Bills or the offensive coordinator for the Titans. Flyers lost to the Mammoth 5-4 Wednesday night, giving up a 3-goal lead. Fly Guys have now lost 7 of their last 8. The team is off tonight, but will head to Colorado as they look to bounce back against the Avalanche Friday night. Sixers will take on the Rockets tonight as they also look to bounce back to the Suns. Joel Embiid probable, Paul George questionable with left knee management. You can listen to Rockets Sixers live starting at 7 p.m. right here on The Fanatic. This update is brought to you by Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. It's happening again. Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, Saturday, February 7th. Knucklemania 6 taking over Xfinity Mobile Arena, and everyone's coming. Get your tickets at bkfc.com. I'm Patricia Caputo on your home of the Sixers, Flyers, and the Best Birds coverage. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
We're back. John Marks, Sean Brace.
Hey, now.
Patricia Caputo in for Ray Dunn. As Ray is, I noticed that Ray has 2 Instagram accounts, and he's put stories from both accounts.
Kid's confusing at times.
It's amazing how much he wants to promote when he's on the air.
Oh.
I don't see the same level of promotion
Wow.
on this show. Just saying.
Yikes. Ray has been catching strays all day.
He's going to
How about that?
He's going to have that look.
Can't
that
defend
look.
himself
He
either.
had that look on Monday, too. That was great. What'd you say? Something about breaking up. He was talking about breaking up a girl, and he was using that as an example.
Right.
And then he looked, he was like, what does that mean?
Well, because he had a messy breakup, I think.
Oh, okay.
That we try to talk about. He had some girl he started dating, and Colarulo wouldn't stop talking about it, and then the girl ghosted him.
I don't think they were officially dating yet. I think he had said something about the date, right?
So they weren't exclusive dating, whatever. But I don't know. I guess if you're going out with somebody for more than one occasion, you're dating, right? Not that it's.
Whoa.
This is a big debate for me, actually. This is a big debate.
Whoa, this day and age? Hell no.
What does dating mean?
Does dating mean you're in a
steady?
relationship, or does dating mean you're going on dates?
Dates.
Not anymore.
I think otherwise.
These kids are crazy.
But a 10-year-old kid one time said to me, but dating is ing. My teacher taught me it's plural. Like my sister nannies for a family, all that. And I was like, he kind of got me there.
Wow.
Like dating means you're going on multiple dates according to the English language.
I think time needs to come into the equation when we start talking about dating.
2 dates isn't dating.
No.
So maybe it didn't reach that level.
Couple months.
No. Then you're steady.
No, I'm telling you, man. These kids are crazy these days.
Awesome.
And you want to talk about ghosting? That seems to happen every single day to a lot of these
Ghosting
people.
happens a lot.
You're coming from the girl perspective?
Yeah, but I don't ghost because I feel bad, but ghosting's coming. You know it's happening one way or another.
These kids are crazy.
So it's happening. So you just don't, what? So you don't break,
It's easier to ghost because everything is online. So it's just I'm just not going to text them back ever.
These are the horror stories that I hear.
I'm not texting back twice.
You should also know when there's not an immediate response to a text.
Yeah.
And it's 12 hours goes by and then they finally give you a short text back. They're not interested in anymore. Right?
Yeah, no, it's done.
Your intuition should be, your spidey sense should go off.
Correct.
But there's nothing wrong with hitting them back up 3 or 4 months later and be like, hey, what's up?
After a couple drinks.
Just let it go.
All right, let's get to, and this is courtesy of Sean Brace, the top 5 reasons the Phillies are fine. Damn it, we're fine because my name's Rob Thompson.
That's right. Top 5 reasons why Topper wants you to believe. Go ahead and hit me over there, please, Patricia. Once again, I want to give a shout out to Grace Del Pizzo from Mount Pattison. This is her audio. She was at the 121st Philadelphia Sports Writer Association banquet held at the Doubletree in Cherry Hill. John, we got to make it out there next year. Let's go. Cherry Hill Doubletree.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
I'll see you there.
All right, top 5 reasons why Topper wants you to believe. Number 5 on the board, Matt Painter. John Marks, the cavalry is coming. A new arm. Some are saying Baby Clemens.
But our strength still is our pitching staff. We lost Ranger today, we lost some Red Sox, but we're going to see Andrew Painter come. Young guy who's got a chance to be a star. If he stays healthy, he's got a chance to be a star for many years here in Philadelphia. I'm excited about that.
He's excited about that. Audio was also recorded in a solo cup. It happens, but still we have it. You lost Ranger, but Painter coming.
I am excited to see him pitch. It doesn't mean it's a reason why they're fine. He also sucked last year at AAA. And look at how many innings
Define sucked.
5 ERA at AAA.
Ooh. How many starts?
Enough?
Ugh.
I don't know. I mean, I'll Google his MILB, but
We've been making a big deal about this kid for a long time.
I mean, unfortunately, he got injured and he had to have Tommy John. But even before that, the amount of innings he pitched past single A was very small. So this guy had real success, but it was at lower levels, and then he has the injury, and he hasn't seen the same success since coming back. I am not writing him off at all.
Sure.
I'm not saying that.
You're being realistic.
I'm excited about seeing him pitch this year, but I'm also not taking the pen and saying, Andrew Painter, There we go. Everything's fine.
Well, there's plenty more on this list that will definitely captivate your attention and maybe sway you into believing that everything is fine.
Andrew Painter last year in AAA in 22 starts had a 5.4 ERA. Now he's still 22.
Yep.
But still, I mean that's not like when you have an ERA of 5.40, you're not necessarily getting the promotion to the team the following year to be a big part of their success.
Yeah. He did put out an Instagram video, looked pretty good. Just saying. All right, number 4 on the list of reasons why Topper believes. His name is Kyle Schwarber. He had a pretty big season last year. I believe 17th overall on top 100 Major League Baseball players coming into this year. Yeah, Topper likes what Schwarber's bringing to the team.
I feel good about that. We get Kyle Schwarber back. 56 home runs last year.
56 home runs last year.
People did forget that the Phillies signed him. As Dave Dombrowski said, I was like, oh, that's right. They did sign Schwarber. I forgot about that. Yeah. Schwarber's great. How's he been in the playoffs?
Ouch.
And I'm a big Schwarber fan.
We all are.
I am. You can look at it two ways. You can say the big three need to carry you, and they haven't in the playoffs. But also, what about the other 6 in the lineup?
Yeah. That's where it comes to for me.
Yeah.
Kyle Schwarber, number home runs this year. What are you comfortable setting that at if you were an odds maker?
45.
I'm right
under.
there with you. I might take the under in 45.
If he had 42 home runs this past year, that wouldn't be bad.
Exactly what I was saying yesterday. Good call by you. Number 3 on the top 5 reasons why Topper believes. His name is Bryce Harper, and damn it, he's going to be elite.
Bryce Harper is as motivated as I've ever seen him. He's been hitting for months. He's going to play in the WBC. He's going to have a big year.
Motivated. He's been hitting for months, playing in the WBC.
I mean, listen,
WBC.
Yeah, I'm not using anything WBC that's going to make me feel any better about it.
Let's keep on. Number 2, a big point that was made on Monday where Ray Dunn and John Marks were not seeing eye to eye. His name is Aaron Nola, and I'll tell you what, Topper is believing bounce back season.
Aaron Nola is going to pitch for Team Italy in the WBC, so he's going to get a head start. He's going to have a bounce back here.
Bounce back for Nola. Not buying that.
4 ERA. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a bounce back. 4.25 ERA.
He'll be better.
Yeah,
He'll be better.
I don't expect him to have a 6 ERA. If he has a 6 ERA again, we're in big trouble. I'm in big trouble. I won't be able to handle it.
Yeah.
I will go crazy. Okay, like Topper's doing a good job of trying to sell it.
All right. Number 1 reason why Topper wants you to believe, and this is the good one. I saved the best for last. His name is 2 initials, JT.
Back who I can't tell you how important he is to our pitching staff. You can't put a number on what he does with game calling and just his presence, his experience.
Presence, experience, you can't put a number on it, although they did 45 plus 5, 50 total, 3-year deal.
Yeah, they couldn't wait to not bring him back and sign somebody else. That's how excited they were with JT Realmuto. When they're like, hang on, we don't have to sign him and we can sign up another player? Let's do that. Awesome. Here's my question. Why didn't they think about that before the free agent market opened up? Seriously. Did they think that they were required to bring JT back? How did they almost backdoor into getting Bichette?
You know, there are so many things that we're not privy to. We're not in the room, and I get it. You got Steve Cohen, who just backs the Brink truck up, and it's pretty easy. The Dodgers as well, but the Phillies needed to be creative, and they were not that. I think the time has come and gone for them to be creative. Now you're just hoping to find some scraps that are going to improve your ball club. All love and respect to Harrison Bader, but that's where they're at.
Yep. All right, coming up, 610-632-0975. Laundry Wars is coming up next.
I like it.
I'm the primary, well, not anymore, but
man, that's an incredible job by you. That's a roar. You do the laundry for the house?
Well, I used to be primary laundry. Now it's kind of split, and we're in a power struggle. I want it back. I want primary responsibility.
Wow.
That would be my dream.
Yeah.
Laundry wars are going on in my house right now. I will explain. Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
The Sixers core is fire.
Middays with Marks. Let's clean up a couple things here, then we'll talk laundry wars. Ray texts me and says there was no ghosting. Let's get the story straight.
Ooh.
I didn't say there was ghosting. I wasn't bringing up ghosting. I was just saying that Bill was talking about this girl he was dating or went on dates on the air, and I think it hurt him.
Right, and I think ghosting was just then talked about.
Yeah,
after.
I didn't say that he was ghosting.
Get the story straight.
But you're telling me on the text line people are mad at me regarding Ray? What did I say?
Someone did say, Marshall from Florida, tell John to leave Ray alone. He is going to hurt his feelings. He may only have one, but it is real. Give him a break.
Regarding what? Everything that I'm saying? Or
Yeah,
like
well,
the girl
look,
stuff?
he is the producer. I know he's the bright, shining star right now, but he is the producer, and that's just how it works. You're going to take some shrapnel from time to time.
Well, especially if you're not.
Ooh.
Especially if you're missing out on details, which, by the way, happen more often. I am not difficult to work.
Happened on Monday.
What was it on Monday? Oh, the
sheet.
Yeah, the sheet.
Yeah.
Oh no, he's not. He needs to redo the sheet and have better organization. There's other things that I've also asked for that he hasn't done.
Hey now,
Believe me, I've worked for demanding hosts before. I am not a demanding host. I'm very easy to work
You guys
with.
need like a Festivus.
we're going to stir
list
it
of
up.
grievances.
We're stirring it up. This is how things get settled.
All right, Caputo. Am I a demanding or difficult person to work with?
No, actually, I can't say that anybody here that I've worked with is difficult or demanding. And I'm not just saying that.
How long
It's
have you
true.
been
Because
here?
I'm on the air. 6 months.
Okay.
No, it's true because Bill's
Sounds about
easy
right.
to work with. Bill does a lot of the
Yes.
legwork for himself.
And I
Bill's
don't
easy to
mind
work with.
doing stuff if people have the right attitude about it, I guess you could say. You know, if someone's like, hey, I think you're below me and I'm going to show you, well.
It's a different day and age.
Yeah, like when Ricky yelled at you. Is that what you're referring to?
Yeah, but me, but I also dished it back, so everyone was very offended on Twitter. But I was like, that didn't offend me. It was
You
a
were
good
great.
one.
No,
It
you
was
were
a
great.
good one, and then I got him back. I was all right.
Good
No,
for
that
you.
was fun.
Yeah.
That whole thing was fun. All right, laundry wars.
Okay.
Do you do laundry at your house?
So this is one of those where I just bite my lip because I do not do my laundry.
Why not?
Because I have the most incredible wife, and hopefully she is listening right now.
So
But
she does it.
She does more than just. She's incredible. She gets mad when I say she's a superhuman, because of course, you know, that's a compliment that they don't want to hear. I digress.
But working moms that
She's
do
incredible.
everything with the kids and
Yes.
the house and everything else. They are.
Not a complaint.
Yeah. Okay.
Most of the time.
Right. I got plenty of complaints that I'm not going to necessarily air right now. So, like, we and Trish, you had said that it's your dream to do laundry.
It's my dream to have somebody else
Oh,
do the laundry.
okay.
I don't
Okay.
mind putting it in, but the folding it, yeah.
So I did this morning before I left. I transferred from washer into dryer. So tonight I can take from dryer and I can fold.
Never start a load you can't finish.
Here's my one criticism of my wife is that she will
The one?
the one with this. She will take the stuff from the dryer and fold them into not a basket but the hamper. And then the hamper will go upstairs and then won't get put away right away. And then another hamper will go upstairs and then clothes will get on top of it. And then before I even realize there's a hamper there, it's all the clothes are now they're not even organized. Because my philosophy and strategy is take a load out of the dryer, take it upstairs, fold it, put it away immediately. It does not sit around. Next load, dryer, fold, put away immediately. Therefore, it never sits around. It never not gets put away. And I don't need to do 50 loads at once. I can do a load or two at a time and then put it away.
I agree. I can't
Same
leave it out.
philosophy.
I can't leave it out. And I think that's why I don't like doing it, because I know I can't just leave it in the bag unless I'm exhausted. But other than that, no.
Sometimes you can't do it. You can't put it away. And I get that. But like she's not a do the she is let me get 50 loads of laundry and then I have to put everything up on the bed to where it's the anxiety is like, oh my God, look at how many clothes we have to put away. I just wash it, dry it, fold it up, put it away. Elite folder, by the way, I do have to say. I've turned
How about
myself into an elite
Wow.
folder.
Nice.
How about the sheets? Sheets
Yeah.
are difficult. Nice.
No, I'm good with it all.
Impressive.
And I have a ton of laundry, which is where we're getting into right now. So one of my other complaints is I don't believe that when you wear something, it necessarily has to be washed after one use. Okay? Like jeans should never be washed after wearing it once.
Most of the time, no.
If you drop a wing on it, all right, then you got to put it in the washer.
Different story.
But it doesn't have to be washed every time. Hoodies do not have to be washed every time.
Same thing.
Again, a meatball falls on the hoodie. All right, put it in the washer. You don't have to wash hoodies every time.
If you wear it out to
disagree.
a bar, you might
Wash it.
Yeah, you wash it. Yeah, exactly.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Right? Depending on where you're going.
correct.
All right? T-shirts, wash every time. I don't like if I wear a T-shirt for 2 hours, I don't need to wash that. I can fold it back up and reuse it
But where are you going?
Yeah, is this
In the
a
house.
It's
In
a
the house.
All right.
Oh, yeah, that's a little different.
in the house. Yeah, I'm not talking about like
Correct.
everything that I'm wearing right now, minus the jeans, need to be washed.
Sure.
I'm at work or whatever.
right.
I also shower at night. Last thing I do before bed is I get into the shower. So pajamas, therefore, do not need to be washed every time.
How do you not shower in the morning?
I actually agree with showering at night. How do you go to bed dirty?
That's disgusting.
That's my
Because
biggest
I'm not
thing.
dirty.
You
Yes,
are
you
dirty.
are.
I'm not
If you're
dirty.
washing the sweatshirt that's on your back
You're
right
dirty.
now after coming home from work, you are dirty and need to shower
Trish,
when you get
to
back.
your point, I could never get into my bed after being out all day.
Wow.
Ever.
No, I don't even
No.
think
I
like
wouldn't
that.
I wouldn't be able to sleep.
No. I could never start my day without a shower.
Yeah,
I totally could if needed.
I don't ever shower in the morning.
You
I
don't
shower at
sweat
night.
at night?
No.
Oh, I'm drenched. I'm drenched.
No. So, and the current war right now is with, so it's like I have 3 kids that love to wear multiple outfits a day, right? They come home, they change, and so I'm like, no, I'm taking that sweatshirt, I'm taking that hoodie, and I'm hanging it back up. You can't do that. So now I just do it without asking.
All right.
So they put it in the hamper, and I'll just sneak in, I'll put it away. But I found a list of, and I'm trying to find it right now, of things according, and this is like science. This just isn't like, somebody at home that's deciding what's get washed and what doesn't
All right.
get washed. There's an actual list of what you should wash and what you don't have to wash every time. Okay? And jeans, they say, should be washed every 5 to 7 wears.
Oh, no.
Whoa.
You're sitting on everything with the jeans.
Time out.
5 to 7. It's not good for the denim.
I don't care about the
Yeah,
denim.
I
I
don't
care
care
about
either.
the critters that are going to be created. No, there's a lot going down there. And plus, we share seats with people. You don't know what. No.
Well, I'm not asking you to eat my jeans. I'm just trying to wear them.
But you're putting your jeans next to things that are also clean
I'm
in
saying-
the drawer, in the closet.
I'm saying 1 to 2,
So-
maybe.
According to, and this is it's a Hackensack Meredith Health. So this is a doctor that's talking about this, okay?
Yes.
Jeans and trousers, 3 to 5 wears before washing, unless dirty or sweaty. Sweaters and hoodies, every 5 to 7 wears, especially if worn over another shirt. So if you have a T-shirt underneath
Oh,
something,
that's worse.
5 to 7. Jackets and blazers, 5 to 10 wears. Dresses and skirts, every 1 to 3. Pajamas can be worn every 3 to 4 times if you shower before bed. Otherwise, washed more often. Bras worn 2 or 3 times.
Ooh. Yeah, I'm not I can't speak on the skirts and bras side of things, but the pajamas, if I did rock pajamas, I wear shorts. I guess it's the same thing. No, you get one wear. Toss them
You
in.
wash them every time.
Yeah, it's it's something small, light. Again, I think it comes down to the size. Jackets I don't wash. I'll get them dry clean probably once a season. Jeans though, I totally disagree. You get 2 wears.
So you go 2 wears at a
Yeah,
time.
let's not get too crazy here. all right?
I need people on the text board.
There's a lot of trust
On
in
this.
this. 5 wears.
610-632-0975. We'll review some of them later. 5 wears. I don't go 5.
No.
A lot depends on what it looks like. If there's visible stains that they're dirty, of course I'll wash them.
But think about the stuff you don't see, the germs. Like, who knows what? Andrew sits in your seat, right?
This day and age, yeah.
Has he not washed his pants the last 10 times
Hey,
he's worn
Trish,
it?
without naming names, I know the people that go into the bathroom and don't wash their hands after taking a leak, and I can out everybody right now because it's something I pay attention to.
Yeah, he hasn't changed one bit. He used
That
to
was
pay attention
terrifying.
about a decade ago
I'm not
too, as well.
asking you to name names,
Right.
but
No.
what if you
And
just
let me
it's-
tell you, here's the list. It's long.
Grief.
Does Joe have something on this, Joe and Fox Chase? Because we got about a minute if he's got something on it.
Just
You
had
want
a
to put him on hold.
pandemic. People don't wash their hands. Like, come on, man.
It still terrifies me.
Hand sanitizer.
The urinal's not even done with the flushing noise and someone's cruising out of the bathroom. Happened yesterday. Happened yesterday. Yeah. Yeah.
But see, when I was a kid, my mom used to make us take off our school clothes from like right when we got home.
First thing I do is I take off the work clothes and I put on so.
Yes.
I will put on my pajamas from last night if I know I'm not going anywhere else, so I don't use another outfit. So I'll put on whatever I wore last night, or maybe a hoodie and a pair of sweatpants or something that aren't necessarily clean. I'm not going to a brand new clean outfit if I come home.
No,
if I'm wearing jeans, I'm taking the jeans. I don't need walking around in jeans.
Same.
All right. So I'm not I try to the amount of freaking laundry I have with these kids, and my wife having to wash everything every time she wears it. She'll wear a pair of jeans to go to Chick-fil-A to get lunch, and then it's in the hamper.
Did she sit down?
Yeah.
I understand.
I get down with Liz on that one. All right. You don't know who was in that Chick-fil-A. Just saying.
You people are weird. 610-632-0975. Joe, we'll take your phone calls on the Phillies coming up next. And I think Luke going to call in?
That's right. Luke, his ears were ringing, so he's going to dial us up after the news at noon.
All right, news at noon with Trish coming up next. What do we have? Patricia Caputo, news at noon?
We have some talks, some MLB press conferences, along with one defensive tackle who kind of has no respect for a quarterback this weekend.
That's coming up next. Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
The Eagles are still looking. I'm Patricia Caputo with this Fanatic Sports Update. Eagles are in search for their coordinator. Offensive coordinator continues. The Birds reportedly interviewed former Chiefs offensive coordinator Matt Nagy. Zach Bertman spoke to the show this morning to discuss how desirable this OC position really is.
This has been a springboard job, and the 3 OCs have gone on to become head coaches. That's not a coincidence. There are organizational factors when you look at the front office, when you look at the owner, that if you're an aspiring head coach, there's some pixie dust that you might want exposure to.
Brian Daboll appears to be off the table as he is looking to either coach the Bills or be the offensive coordinator for the Titans. We'll keep you updated. Flyers lost to the Mammoth 5-4 Wednesday night, giving up a 3-goal lead. The team is off tonight, but will head to Colorado as they look to bounce back against the Avalanche Friday night. Sixers will take on the Rockets as they also look to bounce back, this time to the Sun. Joel Embiid is probable, while Paul George is questionable. You can listen to Rockets Sixers live starting at 7 p.m. right here on The Fanatic. This update is brought to you by Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. It's happening again. Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, Saturday, February 7th. Knucklemania 6 taking over Xfinity Mobile Arena, and everyone's coming. Get your tickets at bkfc.com. I'm Patricia Caputo on the home of the Flyers, Sixers, and the best Birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Costas tweet, you thought something happened to the big guy?
Yeah, apparently Bob Costas from Richard Deitch, is that how you say his last name? Deitch, excuse me. Said,
No.
Bob Costas, who spent nearly 4 decades with NBC in a legendary and decorated broadcasting career, is returning to NBC Sports as the host of the Sunday Night Baseball program pregame show. It's baseball season, boys. Anyways, when I first glanced at it, I'm like, oh my goodness, did Bob Costas pass away? Clearly not the case. He's actually...
It's weird that would be your initial reaction is he was
Really?
dead.
Well, that's just how it is with social media.
Okay.
I always think like that too.
Social media is just so tough. I go on Facebook from time to time, and, look, we're all getting up there in age, and it's just a fact of life. We all pass on, but I feel like you see it so much on Facebook, and it's just like, it crushes me. One mother passed away due to cancer. Another person passed away due to age last week. Bob Costas, 73 years old, still getting gigs. Is there a time where you just say, I did it. I've done everything I possibly could. Now it's time to enjoy the fruits of my labor. Al Michaels, Bob Costas, or do people just want this?
So first you were concerned. Now you're like, how dare he still work?
Hang it up, scrub.
I mean, there are plenty of people. Point blank, Al Michaels needs to retire. You watch Tirico, and it's night and day. Bob Costas clearly does not have his fastball. He did a playoff game a year ago, and people were raking him over the coals. This is a pregame show, whatever. But come on, man. 73? I don't know. He's a name.
I can tell you what I'd be doing. Not that.
Yeah.
I had that much money. But, like,
you're damn right.
Mike Tomlin's not going to coach again, according to Jay Glazer and other people.
Doesn't surprise me.
He literally was like, no, it's passed me by. He told the players that he didn't think he was a good enough coach anymore. And he has all that money, and they were booing him. Steelers fans were booing him off the field, and he says, you know what? Like, no, I'm done with it.
Good.
Who knows?
Yeah.
But, like, Madden never went back.
Bill Cowher never went back.
Bill Cowher never went back. Bill Cowher was like, this is what life is like without having to be an NFL coach. It's the best thing ever.
Tomlin's going to be great on TV.
Yeah, I hope he doesn't coach anymore. It means he's happy. I sure as hell wouldn't.
Yeah, 73. I'm Bob Costas, who's done everything possible. I don't think you're going to get me.
But that's you.
All right.
That's what, like, Al Michaels likes the lifestyle of it and the call. He's just horrible. And I'm a big Al guy. I think Al's
I
one of
love
the best
Al
ever.
too.
He
but
sucks now.
He's terrible.
He is terrible now. All right.
Take Al Michaels out of your bio.
Yeah, Al Michaels' biggest fan.
You almost got water all over my computer. Nice work.
My
there.
bad timing.
Good work by you.
Time for the news at noon.
This city needs its news.
Now, it's time for
I'd like to be remembered as a good newsman.
the news at noon
It's the coolest story I've ever heard in my entire life. That's insane.
with Ray Dunn.
Hey, Ray.
Not Ray. Ray's gone big time, like we were saying. He'll be on Unfiltered this afternoon with Brendan Gunn.
Yes.
Silvana. So I'm Patricia taking over, and I'm sure we've all seen this at this point, but 8 years have gone by if you're a Phillies fan, and you thought the pitcher that you knew, you didn't, because you didn't even know his name. If you listen to, well, I can't say his name until you hear it, so we'll just take a listen to this press conference that Philly media and all their fans have had it wrong this entire time.
The question was around Venezuela and also how he actually says his name. So my name is actually Rangel, but however you guys want to address me, Ranger, is how most people do, so I'm comfortable with either.
8 years.
So I heard somebody say they've never heard Ranger speak English before. Well, you still haven't, because that's the translator. That wasn't Ranger.
You're right. It was.
I know.
Yes.
I had saw or heard somebody say that, and I'm like, are you kidding me? He
thought it
leaves
was
Philadelphia
him.
and starts speaking English? And then I go to look at the press conference. I'm like, he's not speaking English.
That would have been pretty impressive.
So the whole time we've been getting it wrong, or was it more so that Ranger was throwing us a bone by not making us say one more? It was on hair. What is it?
Right.
On hair.
On hair.
Can we hear it again?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to attempt.
All right.
Yeah, the proper
we've already messed it up
the
for long
proper
enough.
Spanish pronunciation. Here it is.
All right.
The question was around Venezuela and also how he actually says his name. So my name is actually Rangel, but however you guys want to address me,
Rangel.
Ranger.
There's an R in there. Run here.
Yep.
Run here.
So if you remember, Freddie Galvis, who came up in the Phillies organization, at one point starting the season, he said, "It's actually not Galvis. I want you to call me by how it's really pronounced, which is Galvis."
Galvis.
So then I said, "You know what?"
Which I respect.
Absolutely. And then he said, "Nah, don't worry about it. No one can get it right." So then it just became Freddie Galvis again.
So if you were going to type that up for somebody to read,
Phonetically?
you would put RON-HAIR. Is that how? Am I correct on that? Ron Hair. Suarez.
R-O-N, you said?
I think it's more hell than hair.
Yeah, that's what I saw, too. I saw H-L.
HL.
Yes. But the real question is Suarez, because who was it the other day that kind of added a little emphasis on his name with MLB Network, where he was like...
Rolled the tongue?
Yes.
I love rolling the tongue.
Which I had a speech impediment. I can't do that.
By the way, the Adalis Garcia, phonetically, it's Adalis Garcia.
I've heard it pronounced 3 different ways in the last 2 weeks. I have.
We're going to call him Adalis, but I believe if you were to say it correctly, like with Ranger, that it's Adalis.
Suarez. Any way you shake it, it hit me yesterday.
It was tough to see him wearing a Red Sox jersey.
Mm-hmm.
He was front row at the Celtics with Boris.
It was tough to see.
Yeah, man. Yep. He's been with the club forever.
Yep.
It's amazing. I remember when he first came up, it's like, this guy sucks. Like, put him back in AAA. He really developed. Like, he was good, man. He developed into he's making almost $30 million a year. Big contract.
Ranger season.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a shame. Oh, well.
Or, excuse me, run.
There you go. There you go.
Run here season.
You're the rolling.
That was good. I can't do that.
I'll roll the tongue with the best.
I can't do that. I failed Rosetta Stone.
Are you versatile with that tongue roll, Sean?
Like Fernando Mendoza?
Freddie Galvis.
All right. Number 2, another MLB press conference, this time Bo Bichette, who was essentially left speechless when asked about his contract option that will happen next year. And he literally had no words.
John Heyman for Bo, and anyone else who wants to answer, you have a very favorable opt-out option in there, and you're obviously got youth on your side I guess you're almost 28, going to be 28. Should anybody look at this as a potential one-year deal? How are you looking at this?
John, thanks for your question. Good afternoon, everybody.
Yeah, great question. Let my agent grab that, please.
I watched it a bunch of times. It was funny every single time I watched it.
Yeah. It's not that difficult of a question to answer from a player's perspective. It's just like, I hope to be with the Mets for a really long time. This was something that was negotiated. I will get an opportunity to be a free agent with those opt-out clauses, but I'd be surprised if I wasn't here for a really long time. Yeah. I'm so happy to be here.
Kick the can.
Yeah, like not being able to answer questions.
You're pretty good at this PR thing.
Well, but what I'm saying is
next calling for you.
Yeah, career.
Like the Eagles do a really good job. Nick's always prepared for what's coming his way.
Yep.
That's when you're preparing a guy for what could be coming your way. That's an obvious question that you're going to be asked.
So my question to you would be, Mr. PR, was he not brief like this in Toronto? Do you think Toronto was kind of like, because Philadelphia, you're right. They tell, whether it's the Sixers, Eagles, Phillies, those PR directors slide them the state of the team, what's being said right here on these airwaves, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Do you think Toronto, that was not happening?
Yeah, I would hope so. I mean, honestly, I think I've seen the Phillies way too many times not really seem like they were necessarily prepared for everything. Like let me give you an example with this. The year that Doug's last year, Derek Boyko had went to Buffalo, and they were kind of in between before their current guy came here from San Francisco. Bob Lang came here from San Francisco, and there were some struggles in getting Doug ready for the press conference. A lot of that was because Doug didn't want to listen. So if Nick Sirianni's going to be like, whatever, I'm not listening to you, I'm going to go say what I want, then he's going to go do that. But it's up to like Nick is very well prepared for what's coming at him.
Yep.
And he listens to it too. Part of it's also the arrogance of the coach, whether or not they want to. Like Doc Rivers probably wasn't as prepared or didn't want to be prepared like maybe some other coaches.
He's got it working in Milwaukee right now too, baby.
Yep.
Keep doing your thing, Doc.
For sure.
All right, last one. Shifting to the NFL playoffs, Milton Williams, now on the Patriots, former Eagle, was asked about Jarrett Stidham, the quarterback for the Broncos, and he too was also left to pretty much say nothing. Take a listen.
What do you know about Stidham?
Nothing. Nothing. I ain't gonna lie, nothing. We're gonna watch the tape on him and, figure out what he liked to do, but no, they didn't like him over Bo.
Kind of tough.
All right. I want to put myself in his shoes. He's 26 years old. Hasn't been around the league all that long. Quite frankly, 80% of the people have no idea who Jarrett Stidham is?
Everything he said was true.
Yes.
It's just, do you say it
A
to the
bulletin
media?
board material, yeah.
I don't even think it's bulletin board material. It's just that I don't know nothing about him. And then he said they're going to watch the film. He hasn't played in 3 years.
Yeah, that too.
There's not a lot of film.
There's no film on him, at least in Denver.
They went with Bo over him as a lie. No,
Which is the right thing to do anyway.
That's a good call.
And he doesn't know that, he used to be a Patriot. And he was with the Raiders right before he went to Denver. Yeah, he's with the Raiders. Milton Williams is the defensive tackle. If he's not following the league, he didn't know. He should know who Jarrett Stidham is.
Yeah, Milton's having a hell of a season. He is a huge difference maker. He got hurt for a little bit, but he has provided the Patriot defense with everything that they have paid for and then some. And I'll tell you what, J.K. Dobbins was out there practice for the Broncos, could be returning. That's a huge get for Denver. If he does play, I'm cautious because it does seem like it's a Lane Johnson situation right now. But Milton is a huge piece of the puzzle as far as success for the Patriots.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull up my BetParks app right now because
You like either of these games?
I like the Broncos. And I would sprinkle in a money line bet.
Ooh.
Drake May has not been good this play. It hasn't been horrible. But he's fumbled. He's made some mistakes.
When the Broncos get after the quarterback.
They're going in the Mile High. It's a difficult place to play. I don't know if he's played there or not because they were asking him, and he was talking about the altitude, but it didn't really seem like that he knew about playing in the altitude.
They haven't lost a road game all season.
The Patriots are good. I was saying it all year. I'm like, if you think that the Patriots are a fluke, they're not.
No.
It's still sitting at 5, so it hasn't moved. It went from 5.5 to 5 on the BetParks app.
That money line has moved, though.
It is. Now it's plus 200. It was plus 220 when I
there's been significant movement in the money line over the last couple of days.
I think you're getting some smart money on the Broncos for what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So Jarrett Stidham, there's no film. Who knows what he's going to look like? But it's also not Nick Sirianni and Kevin Patullo calling plays. This is one of the best offensive coaches in the game.
Oh man, Sean Payton is so excited for this opportunity.
Yeah, you know what? You're right. Because he's going to cook up something. Yep. I would not be surprised if they won the game. Running the ball, when you talked about getting Dobbins back.
He's a huge deal.
Run the ball, couple of, I don't want to say trick plays, but a couple of wrinkles that you need to win games like this.
Yeah, look, and you just take that Patriot game, for example. C.J. Stroud put that bad boy on a platter, and it was still a tight game. It was still a game that was up for grabs up into the fourth quarter.
Not an impressive win considering he turned the ball over 5 times.
It's not out of the realm of possibility that the Broncos win this game. I am not saying that, but I'm having a hard time wagering my harder money on the Broncos.
Brandon Dutz, our YouTube producer, and your weekend producer.
Yeah, how about that?
Broncos fan.
Yeah.
Broncos fan.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not from Denver.
John Elway ain't walking through that door, Holmes. Peyton Manning ain't walking through that door.
I'm going Broncos outright.
Good luck. Good luck. I'll tell you what. Also, if you're going down that path, a wager you should look at is the Super Bowl exacta. If you think the Broncos are going to win and be playing in the Super Bowl, and whoever you got coming out of the NFC,
Seattle.
Wow, that's going to pay you a nice little payday there because I think the Rams and the
it was my. Let me go back. I think that was my.
Seahawks are actually favored to win it all, so I take that back. Plus 145.
Yeah, but still, I mean, is that still a 3-point spread in the NFC Championship game? And that's not an easy pick.
2.5 I'm seeing here.
So it went down a half a point. Yeah. Went down half a point. 2.5. But see, I mean, if you want to go Broncos, now the Broncos lose, you lose the parlay. But still, I think there's value in getting that because that kind of offsets Seattle not being a huge. Let me see here. So a Bronco plus 5.5 and a Seattle -3 earlier this week paid you plus 278.
Look, everybody loves, to throw the darts and the big payday, and now is the time that you wager on the Super Bowl. Some of these, you get your money back if they don't make it. Some of them you lose out. Tomorrow, I'm going to have two for you. I'm going to take a swing, a big hack, a big Adolis Garcia cut.
Took the words out of my mouth. Your eyes might as well be closed.
Adolis Garcia cut. And see if we can hit on a Super Bowl future or two, okay?
All right. That sounds great.
Beautiful.
All right. So let's go back to the phones here. Little more Phillies conversation. Luke Arcaney, who is writing now for Crossing Broad, had worked with Sean.
Yes.
Back when Sean was at the Gambler.
Damn right.
And Luke's a young guy, right? He's like 21, 22.
He's a little older than that.
Older on that?
Yeah.
But like really, really good with the Phillies, and it's going to be one of these Phillies talkers here for the next couple of decades.
Credentialed last year, made it down to all the home games.
I'm a fan of him, and Luke joins us right now. What's up, Luke?
What's going on, guys? Thanks for having me on.
What's going on?
I actually admitted that I actually believed, and I was agreeing with you earlier when you said I was not wrong, but I was also not right about that tweet yesterday.
But doesn't that make sense though? Even as silly as it sounds,
does, and it really does, because like I completely understand. And listen, I had full intentions going into that tweet, knowing that there was going to be a lot of unhappy people. But I think the negativity on the team itself has gone a little too far based off of play on the field. But I don't think reactions to an extremely reactionary offseason for the Phillies has gone far either. I completely understand why fans are mad. I completely understand how it almost feels like fans are getting gaslit into thinking, that other things are going to happen when they sit there and they watch the Mets, get Bichette and Freddie Peralta. Another good trade last night. A big package, but a good trade.
So your original tweet was what? That it's gotten the negativity's gotten way out of hand, something like that.
Yeah, so I said I completely understand the offseason hasn't gone how most people want it, especially over the last, week or so. But I said it feels like the Phillies' negativity has gone a little too far. I said there's a reason to be down. I think you should be after the offseason, but I think just some takes I've seen about, the upcoming season and stuff like that are just, they're getting a little bit overboard, I think.
No, I agree. And like you had said, you recognize why we are where we are. But also, I kind of take it to the next level, because I was completely annoyed with Dave Dombrowski from that not elite press conference, because the level of urgency, Dave's been in the game for so long, and he looks at it. Is he 70? He's right around there. He's put together World Series. He's been in Detroit. He's had success. His resumes are in, right? He looks at it and says, well, this is what I do. I give the team, I make the adjustments at the trade deadline. Now it's up to the players. And there's years where you might be the best team and you're not going to win because it just doesn't end up working out. Man, you can't have that. You can't have that level of urgency in Philadelphia. And you've went down from being World Series, NLCS, total meltdown, losing to the Mets, losing to the Dodgers. I just said I had a level of urgency. Instead of being like, oh, well, if this happens or if that happens, we have a really good club. How about going out and making your team better to get over the hump, right? And that's really the biggest problem I had with the entire offseason, was the level of urgency from the team for me wasn't there.
Yeah, I think, and it's not really going to sound right when I say it, because it was two completely different ends of seasons, but it almost kind of feels like the off season going into 2023 for me. And yes, that ending in 22 was a lot better than this past ending, but it felt like that off season, everyone was like, hey, we know we have a team that could compete, but we need a guy. And then they went out and they got Trey Turner. And the same off season, it felt like, hey, we have a team that can compete. And yes, even though we lost, we can go toe-to-toe with the Dodgers. They did it. Obviously, they lost. But they needed a guy. And I think Bichette was that person. And it stinks how it went down. I do keep saying, though, like, it's tough. It's tough for me to fault Dombrowski for specifically how the Bichette thing happened, because they were going into this offseason trying to find a guy based off of years rather than AAV. And that was made known from the jump. The Phillies aren't in the boat to give a guy $42 million per year right now.
Yep.
That's just not where they're at financially.
Yep.
And unfortunately, if Kyle Tucker went to the Mets, I'd be shocked if Bo Bichette wasn't a Philly right now. But Tucker went to the Dodgers, and Stearns and them basically just got all pissed off. I really think that was just sort of like an anger move, it almost felt like. They thought they should have got this guy. They didn't get him, and they went and threw a crap ton of money at Bo Bichette.
Yep, they sure did.
I wish our front office was angry.
Yeah. Well, you know what? They're more shook than angry. They really are. I mean, that was a gut punch. Luke, they were not expecting to not get Bichette.
No, they weren't. Dombrowski said multiple times on I believe that was Tuesday, that they really thought the deal was done. And he said, like you said, it was a gut punch. I don't think anybody expected Bo Bichette to go to the Mets. I don't think it was very, very close, and I would have been very surprised before he went to the Mets if he wasn't a Philly. But there was always a chance that some other team tried to jump in.
Yep.
I was not expecting it to be the Mets within 12 hours after they lost out on Kyle Tucker. It was a genuine gut punch. And it's funny because Dombrowski basically said that they called JT back within the hour after Bichette signed with the Mets. It was that quick. But, yeah, I don't think that's how they thought those few days were going to go down at all.
Luke, one more for me real quick, because we had a point of contention between Ray Dunn and John Marks, and it's about Aaron Nola this upcoming season. ERA, if I set it at 3.95, are you going over or under for Aaron Nola this upcoming season?
I'd probably go over, but I don't think by a lot.
All right.
Listen, if you want to buy into the even year Nola stats,
I'm all in.
Then it would be the under. But I think it'll be right around that 4 mark. I think that's a really good line. Honestly, I think it'll be within the 3.75 to 4.1 range. Okay. Which, listen, at this point, if he can give you 200 innings with a 4 flat ERA, it's not the worst scenario in the world.
Yep. Luke, we're up against him, man, but make sure you call in again soon. Love your coverage with the Phillies. We read you on Crossing Broad. We see you online, so we'll talk to you soon, all right?
Sure, guys. Thank you.
All right, there he is, Luke Arcady.
Nice work.
Yeah, asked him an Aaron Nola question. He's a Nola.
Yes.
Nola devotee.
It feels like, as the younger generation is, they're more optimistic, and I was once that guy.
No. One time I was doing the Aaron Nola's the Joe Blanton of this rotation.
Ooh.
Which a lot of people, you say, ooh. He had a 6 ERA this year. Joe Blanton didn't have a 6 ERA.
Wow, that's a good way of looking
at it. I said it before the season even went crazy. Yeah. And a lot of people got mad about it. Yes. And I was like, well, it was more or less me saying he's the weak link of the rotation. He doesn't suck.
That's fair.
Joe Blanton didn't suck. He was a 4.5 ERA guy.
No, but the expectations for Joe Blanton were one. Aaron Nola is a whole different world.
For you, not for me.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
That was my point.
Yeah. It's a way of looking at it.
All right, coming up.
Some deep thoughts right there.
Some phone calls. Joe and Fox Chase, we have you covered up next. 610-632-0975. Back in the Eagles stuff. Oh, the offensive coordinator. It's the talk of the town, Sean Brace.
Gotta find one.
Middays with Marks.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
The Eagles are still looking. I'm Patricia Caputo with this Fanatic Sports Update. The Eagles' search for an offensive coordinator continues. The Birds reportedly interviewed former Chiefs offensive coordinator Matt Nagy on Wednesday. Zach Berman joined the morning show to discuss the kind of coordinator that the Eagles are looking for.
They've been speaking to candidates of all different types of experience. Josh Grizzard has far different experience than Matt Nagy does. I do think they're looking for play calling experience at this point.
Other possible hires was Brian Daboll, but he appears to be off the table now, with Diana Rossini reporting that he plans to either be the next head coach for the Buffalo Bills or an offensive coordinator for the Tennessee Titans. In the NHL, Flyers lost to the Mammoth 5-4 Wednesday night, giving up a 3-goal lead. Fly Guys have now lost 7 of their last 8. The team is off tonight, but we'll head to Colorado as they look to bounce back against the Avalanche Friday night. Sixers will take on the Rockets tonight as they look to bounce back after their loss to the Suns. Joel Embiid is listed as probable, while Paul George is questionable. You can listen to Rockets Sixers live right here starting at 7 p.m. on the Fanatic. This update is brought to you by IHOP. IHOP Values Menus is here. Enjoy breakfast favorites like pancakes, eggs, and bacon, French toast with sausage, or a cheesy omelet with pancakes, all for just $6. Go to your happy plates with the $6 IHOP menu. I'm Patricia Caputo on the home of the Flyers, Sixers, and the Best Birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Middays and Mark's 12 o'clock hour of the show. I have to go to the last page to get the 12 o'clock hour sponsorship. Brought to you by Service First HVAC, offering 0% financing, 48 months, rebates and tax credits up to $4,300 when purchasing a heating and cooling system. Learn more, ServiceFirstHVAC.com. We have Todd Zalecki coming up at 1 o'clock.
Nice.
If you remember, you may not remember this. Todd Zalecki, you know who's most responsible for Bryce Harper being in Philadelphia as a Philly right now? Todd Zalecki. John Middleton quoted, I think it was during a radio interview, had said, Todd Zalecki put up a Twitter poll, and it was like, who would you rather have, Machado or Harper? He said on the air, he quoted Todd Zalecki's Twitter poll, which had like 10,000 votes, that the fans really want Bryce Harper. He knew the percentages of the poll and everything. We can ask Todd about it when he comes on. He literally said, Todd Zalecki had this Twitter poll. He's like, that was the reason why they went after Harper and not Machado.
With all love and respect to Mr. Middleton, I don't think they need to be a rocket scientist to think where that poll was going to go. But nice work by Todd Zalecki.
He was so impressed by the whole. Yeah. Like he thought it was a real vote for a congressman or the president or something.
The Twitter poll.
Todd Zalecki, so good. Congratulations to Todd Zalecki for being most responsible for Bryce Harper and not Manny Machado.
Man of the people,
That's it. He's coming up at 1 o'clock. We'll talk about everything with the Phillies. Let's get to Joe in Fox Chase. Wants to talk Phils. What's up, Joe?
Hey, guys. How we doing?
Yo, Joe.
Everybody good?
Yeah, man. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm probably the only person in Philadelphia that's happy with the Phillies, other than letting Rondre Suarez get away.
There it is.
Because I really liked him.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm happy they signed Real Muto, because I've always said if you can get me a better catcher, then okay. But you know what? He's the best catcher in baseball, and I'm glad they signed him. And I think we're going to be okay. Let's not forget, we had a better record than the Dodgers last year. We were a better team than the Dodgers, and they won it all. So I'm very happy with this team. Painter's coming up. Crawford's coming up.
Yep.
We're going to be good. We're going to be right there, and we're probably going to win the East. So I'm tired of hearing all the negative about the Phillies and this Bouchette. Like you might have thought he was Ohtani, for God's sake. He's okay, but he's not the end of the world.
I agree with you on that.
We'll be absolutely fine.
Hey, Joe.
We're going to be fine without him. We have a really good team.
Joe, I'm just curious. You catch any Mariner games last year?
Yeah, what he's saying is there's this guy Cal Raleigh that hit 60 home runs or whatever last year.
He was a decent catcher.
He was good.
Absolutely. But I'm just saying, were you going to get me a better catcher here in Philly other than Real Muto? The answer is no. Yeah. So he's the best we could do, and I like the guy. The guy's behind the plate. The pitchers love him. He's got a great arm. He's a great catcher.
No, I do, and thank you, Joe. Thank you. Thank you for calling.
Wait. You too? You
I'm
as
a
well?
JT fan.
Oh, okay. So
if they would have signed, if he would have signed in December, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. I'd be mad at the Phillies, not JT.
Fair.
Unfortunately, JT had to be hard-headed about it, and he ended up getting the more money. So who am I to argue with?
Yeah, exactly.
Dummy Phillies gave him more money, but
business is business.
Yeah, I wanted him back at the end of the offseason. I was resigned to the fact that he was coming back. They had no other options.
But that's the frustrating part for me is that there has to be other options.
There were other options.
Like, can we get creative? Am I asking for too much for you to?
We have a good club.
He's content. You can't be content. After the way it ended, back-to-back years, you cannot say that.
You know what you can't do? You can't admit to being content.
Yes, exactly.
Which is what he did. He's not only acting content, he admitted to being content. So it's crazy.
As much as he's missed out on some big names, he said that Bryce Harper is not elite, and then he comes out and says that he's content with the club that he has, knowing damn well that he was lying too as well.
He has had a bad offseason.
Yeah,
so far.
If I'm Mr. Middleton, which I'm using these days, did you notice that NFL owners are always referred to
Mr.
as
Laurie, Mr. Kraft,
Mr. Pagula?
They don't call Jerry Jones Mr. Jones. They call him Jerry.
Yeah,
everybody calls him Jerry, but everybody else, they're billionaires.
So is that what it is?
Mr. Snyder.
Yeah, Mr. Snyder was.
He was the first.
That was the first. But they just say John Middleton.
Mr. Laurie. Yeah, John Middleton. Well, John Middleton is he's Philly born and bred guy, real Philly guy.
I think Dombrowski is probably with his last season. I don't think that's
maybe 2 more years.
I just think it's time to go, man.
Depends what happens this year. Depends. All right, give me 2 minutes worth of text on laundry there, Patricia Caputo.
All right, I agree with this one with my whole heart. Socks can never be reworn. You have to wash them every single time.
Agreed, but what if you wear them for 90 minutes?
Never.
You put on a pair of socks.
No.
You go to the grocery store because you're not going to wear them.
You walked outside. No.
Hold on. Let me finish.
No.
Let me finish.
Stank foot.
You put on the socks because you're not going to wear bare feet in a pair of sneakers. You go to the grocery store, pick up a couple items, you come home. I don't need to put them in
Yes, you do.
I don't need to put them in the wash.
It is how they feel when you put them back on.
They still feel fresh.
No, they don't. They don't.
Okay.
They feel crusty.
Socks are a little different.
And even if you walk around the house for 10 minutes, they got to go into the hamper.
They're done.
Yep.
I would rather go barefoot in my shoes if needed, if my socks. And that's gross, but I'd rather do that than ever put on socks again.
Yeah. All right.
With you there.
Any more? I know Ray was saying that he's a 3-jean washer. Three uses jeans. He said with the hoodie, he's guilty of the hoodies on top of the laundry, and he's like, I'm wearing this one again. I just hang them back up. After I wear them, I hang them up. I don't throw them in the...
Your jeans?
Well, no, but
Is that what
the
you
hoodies.
said? Hoodies. I'm sorry.
No, I'll refold the jeans and put them back where they go. Or, like, if it's a hoodie, if I wear a hoodie and I decide I'm going to wear it again, it goes right back on the hanger and goes in my closet.
Yeah, I don't have issues with hoodies and big stuff like that.
It all depends where I am. Like if I'm here, everything's going in the wash
Like,
here.
for example, my daughter had cheerleading competitions the last however many weekends. So I have a
that sounds enjoyable.
I have a jacket. It's a lot, but it's fun. Okay. I have a jacket, and it gets on like the bleachers, and then people are stepping on it, and then everybody's sitting on it. I put that in the washer right away. And that's a jacket. That's not even a hoodie or whatever. Everything goes in there. But even if I get all right, this hoodie right here.
Tell us.
Not getting washed.
When was the last time you washed it?
I don't know. It's not getting washed.
Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't worn this hoodie in at least a couple of weeks, so I'm assuming that it was freshly washed when it was on the
This
hanger.
sweater will definitely be heading to
This
dry
will
cleaning.
not
Don't
be.
give him a pat on the back when you leave today.
This is one use here. Yeah, exactly. Everybody stay away from John. He wants to wear that again.
Yeah, but hang on a second. Like, what is going to happen? You keep talking about all the germs and
No,
stuff.
That's the problem. You don't know.
It's the stink underneath.
I don't have that problem.
It's the stink. Everybody has that problem. It's hot in here. You mean to tell me that your deodorant isn't working right now?
My deodorant's working, but it's not affecting the shirt. All right, coming up, Chris Long spoke on what the Eagles need to do to provide Hurts with a sense of, all right, 10, 11 offensive coordinators in 11 years. How Chris Long thinks the Eagles should handle that particular part of it. I do, too.
Yeah.
That's coming up next. Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic. For bringing Bryce Harper to Philadelphia, 1 o'clock, his reaction to the contentness of the Phillies. Hey, Dave Dombrowski has not had a good offseason with saying that kind of stuff.
Tell me what situation or scenario would be okay to say hey, how's the marriage going? I'm content.
It doesn't sound good.
No.
Because, by the way, everything that he said this offseason, none of it's really been wrong. More or less what he was saying was that, no, I don't feel like I need to go out and do anything else because this was the original plan, and maybe we tried to deviate it for a second, but we're back to what we were going to do. We got JT. That's what I was trying to go into the offseason doing, right? So more or less, what else can he do? I know a lot of people want to scream and yell out there like, oh, we'll go out and get this. They don't have more money to use.
That's
they just
fair.
Don't.
But they have opportunities. They have players that would be available that we're not privy to. They have teams that don't want to pay these players due to whatever circumstances coming down their way.
They could have done that. They elected that was not their strategy.
This is, I hate when I bring up other sports, but a perfect example is this. A.J. Brown, when the Eagles landed him, right? This was an opportunity for Howie Roseman to go get a receiver. Obviously, the team that he was with did not want to pay him. There are players out there in Major League Baseball, roll the dice, do something different. This team needed something different.
Nope.
And Adolis Garcia and a couple pitchers in the bullpen who are really good.
The bullpen looks like it could be really good.
Are not good enough examples for people out there that are, saying you're running it back. I know that that's a point of contempt from people in the front office, but it's the realness of the situation. They are running it back. They're running it back.
Well, with the same star core, yeah. You can't use our outfield's different. Well, it doesn't mean it's better. Bader was playing great last year. Your outfield's not better than it was last year. Maybe it will be. Garcia's put up raw numbers. He also on-base percentage is under 284 the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Come on.
And is Crawford a lock to start this season at center?
Yes.
He's automatically starting.
I mean, no, but he would have to play his way out of it.
Okay.
What's the backup? Rojas?
I'm just wondering.
He's going to start spring training as the starter. Yeah. And he would have to lose it, which I don't expect him to do. And I think he'll be fine.
Okay.
But being fine isn't going to the World Series. What player do you expect to get more out of this year than last year?
Ooh, that's a good question.
All right. Patricia Caputo, you can answer that too.
I would people aren't going to like this. Alec Bohm. I'm all bomed up.
You got a Bomer?
Bomed up. Contract here, baby.
So
Bohm me.
So you can look at it two ways. A, he's going to be motivated by the contractor. B, he's going to be a deer in the headlights because he's tanking his value because he sucks.
Ooh.
I don't think it's that. Alec Bohm is a better player than a lot of people, including me. When I talk about Bohm, you would think that I would think he totally stinks. He's just not a cleanup hitter.
No.
And and the Phillies have tried to trade him the last two off seasons, and they haven't gotten enough to trade him. They would have traded him if they could have gotten Bo Bichette, so they would have had to. That tells me all I need to know. He's a good. If the Red Sox would have traded for Bohm because they need a third baseman, he would have been good up there. He would have been fine as opposed to what else is on the market. They drafted Alec Bohm top 5. He's not a power hitter. He's not bad. He's productive. He's not a 4-hitter. And if the team's telling everybody we don't really want this guy anymore, then what am I supposed to think? The Phillies the last two offseasons tried to trade him. So what is that telling me? That you think he's this great player? Or no, you're tired of his shenanigans?
Facts.
So sorry, I can't. But he may be a little bit better. People may make this a case of Stott being better. We've already done that a couple times. Stott is what he is. Bottom of the lineup. We'll see a lot of pitches. I think he's a good player. He's not being an all-star.
Can Harper improve?
He's not elite.
He's motivated.
He cannot.
He's playing in the WBC.
He can have a better year. Schwarber?
I don't think he can. What's he going to hit, 70?
Yeah.
I would not expect. I would not expect
56 is 56.
Similar numbers, though. I'd say he's still going to be. He's still going to give you production.
Yeah,
still a good player.
He's got one gear in him, man.
Trey Turner.
That's a name that I was kind of circling at the top. My expectation is for him to improve.
Really?
Yeah.
He did win the batting title.
I still think he is an MVP type candidate when he suits up. And Again, without Shohei Ohtani in the league, let's put him to the side.
Yeah.
But Trey's the real deal. So I think he could improve. He had a great season last year. You're right.
But let's face it, right? And you can't do this because they play 162. Isn't everything just about what happens when the playoffs start?
Yes. Like, if they improve in the playoffs, 100%. If they improve in the regular season and lose again, who cares?
Man, Bryce Harper can hit 315 with 35 home runs. Trey Turner can win another batting title. And if they go cold in the playoffs, we're not going to care.
I hate that. I do.
Great for the Hall of Fame.
I am so anti on the folks that are down on the regular season. It's so long. And baseball, you know this, we watch it every day. They're family. Kruk, T-Mac. I want to be entertained, and when Harper is hitting bombs, playing at an elite level, it's entertaining. He's a showman.
No, but you can enjoy the season, and I love the season because it is so long, and the summer's supposed to be long. Yep. I want the summer to be long. I want the days to be long. I want the days to be hot, and I like being able every single one of those days to watch baseball. But it doesn't mean that we don't know by now that all that stuff. They have a good club. Dave Dombrowski can say
we have a good club
a couple of times. It doesn't mean that they have the best club when it comes to the playoffs, and we're not going to know because they need to produce in the playoffs. We've seen Bryce Harper be, oh, my God, I can't believe we had that guy who hit the iconic home run, and it was in slow motion, and he's running around the bases. He does the Superman
Majestic.
thing. And now he can't do anything in the playoffs. They were on a historic pace before they fell apart in the Diamondback series, and they haven't recovered. They just haven't.
You're right.
All right, Todd Zalecki, he's coming up next. He answers the questions, the answers, MLB.com, and the Phillies Show, which is an excellent audio and video podcast. Todd Zalecki joins us coming up next. Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
The Eagles are still looking. I'm Patricia Caputo with this Fanatic Sports Update. The Eagles are in search for a new offensive coordinator. The Birds reportedly interviewed former Chiefs offensive coordinator Matt Nagy. Zach Berman joined the morning show to discuss how desirable this offensive coordinator position is.
This has been a springboard job, and the 3 OCs have gone on to become head coaches. That's not a coincidence. There are organizational factors when you look at the front office, when you look at the owner, that if you're an aspiring head coach, there's some pixie dust that you might want exposure to.
Now, Brian Dable appears to be off the table as he says that according to Diana Rossini, says that he plans to either take the Bills head coaching job or the offensive coordinator job for the Titans. The Flyers lost to the Mammoth 5-4 Wednesday night, giving up a 3-goal lead. The team is off tonight, but will head to Colorado as they look to bounce back against the Avalanche Friday night. Sixers will take on the Rockets tonight as they also look to bounce back against the Suns. Joel Embiid is probable. Paul George is questionable. You can listen to Sixers Rockets live starting at 7 p.m. right here on The Fanatic. This update is brought to you by IHOP. IHOP's value menu is here. Enjoy breakfast favorites like pancakes, eggs, and bacon, French toast with sausage, or cheesy omelet with pancakes, all just for $6. Go to your happy plates with the $6 IHOP value menu. I'm Patricia Caputo on your home with the Flyers, Sixers, and the Best Birds coverage. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5 The Fanatic.
Middays. I am your host, John Marks, along with Sean Brace.
Hello.
Patricia Caputo producing today as Ray Dunn. How about that? Going to be on TV in for Ricky Bo and Bill Colarulo. They're both off today. How about that?
How about that?
How about that?
You take one, I get one. Is that how it works?
I think separate, just coincidental reasons why they're not in.
I'm a fan of shows saying, you know what?
You're all off.
We're all off.
Yep.
Okay.
I think Ricky had already taken off, and then the whole jury duty thing, and yeah.
Yeah, Ricky has an event, I think, and then Bill has the whole jury duty thing, which I don't even know if he got called in the jury duty. But anyway, to discuss what's going on with the Phillies in the offseason, the Phillies are content because they do have a good club.
We have a good club.
Fans don't seem to agree, Sean Brace. No. To discuss that, MLB.com, been a long time Phillies reporter, and also the Phillies show with Jim Salisbury and Ruben Amaro Jr. They do such a great job with that. You can find it on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. Todd Zalecki joins us. What's up, Zozone?
What's up, guys? How are you?
Earlier, I was saying you're the reason why Bryce Harper's in Philadelphia, and Sean had no idea what I was talking about.
I did not know that, Todd. You're an absolute legend for multiple reasons, sir. Nice work.
Can you put up?
You gotta watch that. You gotta watch that documentary on NBC Philly during every rain delay. They used to show that like literally.
Did they really?
All the time.
Well,
oh yeah.
Can you put up another Twitter poll? We just need to decide what you put up so we get done what we need done, right? With what you're doing.
Yeah. Who do you want?
Well, we wanted Bo Bichette. That didn't end up working out. All right,
Shohei Ohtani.
Big picture of things, because now, and it's overblown. People are mad. Because you're getting a lot of people that are saying, no, now they're not going to make the playoffs, 82 wins, and I understand the reaction to it. Does this change at all the way that you entered this offseason? Because I think, Todd, we all had the expectation they were going to re-sign JT, and it was kind of going to be they improving the margins and things like that. But for the most part, the way the team is right now is a lot like we thought it was going to look like. So what's your outlook as we kind of head into spring training starting soon?
Well, yeah, they do have a good team now. Did they improve exponentially to keep, to get past the Dodgers? Did the Mets catch up to them? You could say no, they haven't passed the Dodgers. Obviously, the World Series champions. They just got Kyle Tucker. The Mets did this massive roster shakeup, getting rid of all their longtime guys, and the last week has just been absolutely incredible for them. But they're still a very good team. I can't tell you that they're going to win 96 games again. Did they get better offensively? I would say no. I think you can make an argument that the offense is going to take a step back this year, unless you believe that Adolis Garcia is going to be better than Nick Castellanos and Max Kepler and Wright, and if you believe at all in the talents of Justin Crawford. Now, if Justin Crawford comes in and he really struggles and Garcia continues to slide, it could be some problems because, I think a big reason why the Phillies jumped in on Bo Bichette was because he was available, and they're like, oh my gosh, this would really solve a lot of problems for us. We would have a cleanup hitter. We would have a guy to hit fourth or third or whatever. You could really arrange those top four hitters in that lineup any way you wanted to. Right. And now you're sitting there going into the season going, I guess it's going to be Alec Boehm. It shouldn't really be JT Realmuto. It shouldn't really be Adolis Garcia. So I guess it's going to be Alec Boehm, and that doesn't, he's coming off a down year. So they're a playoff team, in my opinion. But I don't know how much better they got. I can't even say they necessarily got better on paper.
So I thought it was interesting at the end of the season press conference how content that Dombrowski was, which was, I've been in baseball a long time. Sometimes things go your way. Sometimes it doesn't. If it's the ball's thrown to the other side of home plate, we get an out. The umpire made a bad call, and he apologized to JT afterwards. I can understand Dave maybe having that point of view, but you do your show, the Philly show, is with Ruben Amaro Jr. and Jim Salisbury. WWRD. What would Ruben do? And I think I know the answer because we saw him do it. Now, they didn't win a World Series, but that's not because he didn't build a really, really good team. What would Ruben have done this offseason? Todd, has he talked about it?
We talk about different things that he would do because obviously he's got all of that experience. And one of the things that he was very weary of, and he had said it for weeks, even when Jim on the show was saying, before anybody else really, that, there's a 3-year offer on the table for JT. Ruben kept saying, I've been down this road. I don't know if I would do that. I have no problem with him. Now now of course he's like, hey, he's back. It's not my money. I get it. But, in terms of how you handle some of these guys that are getting a little bit older, certainly Ruben was hyper aggressive. Again, he didn't end up in a World Series title, but he got Roy Halladay, Cliff Lee twice, Roy Oswalt, Hunter Pence. He made some big off-season and in-season moves. And, I think from his point of view, for sure, he was all about the change. And I think that's why a lot of people got excited about Bo Bichette, quite honestly, including Ruben, was, it would have been a huge loss to lose JT. I know you can't put like a number or a true value on how much he means to that pitching staff, but it would have been a big loss to the pitching staff to lose him. Now, that said, the idea of getting a 27, 28-year-old star hitter in Bo Bichette and, maybe taking a step back defensively, game planning behind the plate, I think was exciting for a lot of reasons. You're getting younger on the roster, you're getting better offensively, and so it was kind of like a cool way, an exciting way to shake things up, and it didn't happen, obviously.
Todd, I'm a simple man. I like to keep things really basic and easy, keep it simple, stupid. And right now I'm having an issue trying to get past the fact that it seems like every single offseason, and let's put the lockout potential to the side. I know that's a big ask, but let's just put that to the side. I'm having a hard time getting past that this is how it's going to play out every single year, every single offseason. That the Dodgers are going to be the Dodgers. They're going to get what they want. Next up will be the Mets. Maybe we'll see a Sox in there, and the Phillies are going to have to get creative or start offering some of these no-trade clauses or these opt-outs. Is that how you're seeing it, or is that something that the Phillies will not be, will not back down on and will not offer those type of opt-out clauses?
I do wonder. Yeah, I wonder if they will adjust that as time goes on. I think a big thing right now is, listen, the Phillies have a top 5 payroll. They should be putting together a good, a 96-win team, which they did, and I still think they're a 90-win plus team as they are right now. But they don't have unlimited resources like the Dodgers, and maybe not quite as much offensive might as the Mets, but they're pretty close. Maybe they do over time look at the opt-outs and maybe kind of reevaluate it. I think a big deal was, they have Castellanos is on the books for $20 million. Taijuan Walker is on the books for $18 million. You're going to have some other salaries kind of come off the books next year that maybe gives you the opportunity to, go after a Bo Bichette, maybe even Bo Bichette again next year if he opts out. If he has a great year and opts out, maybe they can try to put together something similar. But right now, the way they looked at it, they just could not make that commitment financially. So like where the Phillies are right now with JT signed, their projected payroll is already more than it was last year. They paid, I think, right around $60 million in luxury tax penalties. So to sign a guy like Bo Bichette at $42 million,
one going to happen.
You're taxed up. Yeah, the Phillies would have been taxed at like 110% for almost all of that, and so now it's basically like $100 million, like a $96 million player for 1 year, and they just weren't comfortable doing it. No, so Todd, with that being said, talking to Todd Zlecki, a lot now you're seeing a lot of media that either are doing it for clicks or because they don't know any better, or suggesting the Phillies could be in on certain players. John Morosi said Framber Valdez. I heard the other it was Cody Bellinger. The Phillies are the mystery team for Cody Bellinger, not realizing how that's not going to happen. Could they be in on a Harrison Bader though? That might still be on there and his value's down. Is there any wiggle room at all to where maybe they can improve the team here? I suppose. Now, I will say this. Everything I've heard, Bellinger, Valdez, I wouldn't pay any attention to that. I know some people like to put that out there because the Phillies are a big spender. So if there's an agent out there representing somebody, they're like, hey, the Phillies, they reached out. Everybody reaches out on everybody. Like I always say this, John, like to me, the bigger story would be like if a report came out that said the Phillies have never talked to Scott Boras once about Cody Bellinger, or they never reached out about any, they talk about everybody. They're constantly monitoring. But my understanding is any of those remaining big free agents, now there's not that many left, of course, but you asked about Bader specifically. I believe that he's still looking for a multi-year deal. And for that reason, I would be surprised if they bring him in. And I think for a couple of reasons. One is multi-year deal. He had a great year last year. I mean, he was awesome for the team. He was a spark plug in the clubhouse and on the field. But if you look back at his 4 or 5 seasons previously, he was a below-average offensive performer. So in my opinion, there's a lot of risk there in signing him to a multi-year deal. But also, they just have to figure out, can Justin Crawford play or not? And they have to give him some runway. It can't be a situation where you sign Harrison Bader, Crawford comes out really struggling, and then you bury him on the bench, and then you send him to AAA, and then you're like, what do we do? J.P. Crawford, Scott Kingery situation where, it's like, did we ruin this guy? Like what happened here? So I would be surprised if Bader is like sitting out there for another month, and it's like, I'll come back on a 1-year deal and I will play part-time. I'll float, play some center, play some left. Yeah, then maybe, but I don't see it happening.
Yeah, me neither. Todd, great stuff, man. Again, if you haven't checked out the Philly Show, Todd Zalecki, Jim Salisbury, Ruben Amaro Jr., it's on YouTube, and it's on your traditional podcast. It is unbelievable. When do you head down to spring training?
I'm going down on February 10th. Pitchers and Catchers is on the 11th.
Ooh, very good. Very good. You know what's crazy is if they signed Bo Bichette, there would be this build-up to it. People would be going crazy. And because of the way it worked out, if JT would have signed in the middle of December, I don't even think you're on right now. We're not complaining about the team. But because they missed out on Bo, now everybody hates the team. Did you see the comments on Instagram when they announced that JT was back?
Ooh, no.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was like he's the worst player in human history, and it's absolutely wild. I get the frustration. As a fan, I understand. As you know, John, I'm a Packers fan, and when the Packers choked against the Bears, I wanted everybody fired. I hated the team, but I take a step back and I go, okay, they're still pretty good. They could win the Super Bowl next year. Let's see what happens with the Phillies and with JT behind the plate.
Yeah. All right. Great stuff, man. I'll be watching you and listening to you. We'll talk to you.
Thanks, guys. See you.
All right, there he is. Zalecki.
Heading down to Clearwater. Oh, pitchers and cat, the pop of the mitt.
So with
grass.
Todd's got young kids like me.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, I think we were at someplace. It was the Greek Affair in Broomall, which is this. It's all the Greek food.
Block the road off.
It's at one of the churches, and I saw Todd and his kids and his wife there or whatever. So, is it? I know you would be looking forward to getting away from the family for like a month and a half.
I think that's safe to assume.
They come down.
Wait,
a couple
month
times.
and a half? Wow.
When does the season start?
Okay, well that's too long.
Safe to assume.
Yeah, well, no. What was going through my mind was just a quick little three-day trip, a weekend trip.
No, not a weekend
That's not what
trip.
he does.
No, he's down there until probably they come up.
That's a different ball game. Yeah, I would miss my kids and my wife.
Well, you can also they can come down a couple times.
I would hope.
I don't think Todd stays in a hotel. He's probably in like an Airbnb or something like that.
Oh, nice.
I don't think he's in a big house, but you could bring him down a couple.
They got
times.
some good ones.
Should have asked him about his washing dilemma.
I
should
have asked Todd about the washing.
How he does it down there. Yeah, you're right.
What do you do? By the way, boxers you don't rewear. Just for all the people that are all the people that are heckling me.
Anything that's touching skin, man, I just you got to wash.
But I have a tank top on underneath.
Understood. I hope you wash the tank top. I hope that gets one
every time.
Yeah, that gets one.
Socks, unless it's just a very brief interaction with socks. Well, very brief. But
are you wearing a WB? Is that what you're wearing? The tank top underneath?
WB. Was it?
You're not supposed to say those.
Oh,
yeah.
no.
Oh, no. What are you just?
Well, a non-white one, I guess.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Nice.
Yeah, no, you're not allowed to say. You're not allowed to call it that.
Yeah,
anymore.
that kind of changed. I understand why.
Yes. I wonder why. Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Just a little bit.
I wonder why. All right, well, good stuff with Todd. I mean, yeah, he brought it around to his fandom with the Packers. He was angry. LaFleur blew it again. They blew another lead. How do you lose the Bears like that? Why the hell would you bring LaFleur back? And then he for a second says, well, they could actually win the Super Bowl next year. He's right. But it doesn't mean that the Packers aren't winning a Super Bowl next year.
Well, I'm bringing it back to the Phillies,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. That's what I'm saying.
They're not winning the World Series next year. I think it's safe to assume.
Doesn't feel like it.
Heck no.
No, but here's how they do. You have one of those years where everything goes right. There's this great chemistry in the clubhouse, and it's like just they find different ways to win games. No one thought the Blue Jays were going to come that close to winning a World Series last year. On paper, no, this team's not a World Series team.
Correct.
They did win 96 games last year.
Yes, and again, put it in my bio. I'm a regular season guy.
You are.
I'm a Jalen guy. I'm a regular season guy. However,
Al Michaels. Love Al Michaels.
Yeah, I'm an Al Michaels guy. I just look at it from the fact that when you have what we've been dealing with and the bar is set with the Dodgers, it's just hard to really be that enthused. And I really want to bring it back to, look, when you talk about teams making moves, he brought up the Packers. I get them all over the place. But they at least went out there and made some moves, were creative, tried to improve on their weaknesses, getting receivers. But what did the Phillies do?
And I asked, what would Ruben do? He would have taken a machine gun and looking for anything and everything to make the team better.
Yeah.
That's what I would have been doing.
He would have brought Schwarber back because that was on a team.
I think, unfortunately, we got really, as fans, we were like, there's not much they're going to do. There's not much that they can do. And, like, what? That's how I was. I was like, well, you're going to bring JT back. That's really what you're going to do. Not realizing that if you said, you know what? Screw that. We can go out and get Bo Bichette. We can go out and get Alex Bregman. And then once you realize that JT was being a pain about the contract, then when you looked at it, it's like, hang on. Bregman, and you don't have JT, but you have Bregman, or you have Bichette, and you put him in this lineup, and you're like, you know what? It's a better team. Maybe the pitching's not as good. The problem is the lineup. Now you're trotting out the same lineup. So it made a lot of sense why people kind of swung the way they did. I'm just telling you, look at the Instagram comments on JT when he got signed.
The venom is
unbelievable.
The venom's at a whole different level.
I try to avoid Instagram comments.
Try to avoid
on
them
my own
in general, but to the point that that's where we're at right now with all of these teams in our city. Nobody is satisfied with anything regular season.
Ranger Suarez, I think they did it this morning or yesterday. Well, it was a tribute to Ranger. The Phillies Instagram account does it. Was it yesterday? And you look at all of the responses, and it's either Dombrowski, you dummy, or Ranger, love you. Because it's not realistic they were going to re-sign him. I'm not going to rip the Phillies because they didn't bring Ranger back. But most of them were, love you, Ranger, a lot of GIFs with, like, crying or whatever. It's what you expected.
Sure.
Then with JT, they also put in the caption, BCIB.
Correct.
Best catcher in baseball.
Yeah, he's no longer that.
Like, come on.
He's a good catcher, though. He is a good catcher.
He's a good catcher.
Yep, and he played a ton.
Offensively, he's league average.
I think he played the most innings at that position last year. That's something to be said at his age. He's a leader. And if you listen to Topper, he'll tell you, hey, man, you can't put a price on that. Can't.
You definitely can't. And by the way, every other team does. So if we would have been without JT Realmuto, the Phillies were ready to do it if they could have gotten Bo Bichette. All right, 610-632-0975, 610-632-0975. So next segment, I have, it's a weird way that but it's interesting. Top 100 real NFL MVP candidates from the 2025 season. I guess it's a weird way of trying to rank through now the top 100.
All right.
And it's according to this Seth Walder guy from ESPN.com.
Okay.
Where do you think the top Eagle ends up on that list? Top 100 NFL players of the 2025 season.
In that, as far as best player from the Philadelphia Eagles in their mind.
So number one is Drake May.
Yeah.
He was probably the MVP runner-up.
Yeah, Stafford's probably going to win it.
Number 3 is Stafford. Number 2 is this is the clickbait. Number 2. I'm not even going to tell you who it is right now. But that's the number 2. That's the clickbait, where it's just like, come on. And then they make the case. The top Eagle on the list is 18th overall. Who would that be?
It's not Jalen.
It is not Jalen. That's correct.
Huh. So you want my guess right now?
I want your guess right now. There are 2 in the top 50.
Quinyon
Mitchell at 18 is correct.
Hey!
Ooh, there you go.
How about that?
But you also have some other players. A.J. Brown, 78th. No, he's not.
He did put up some numbers, though.
1,004 yards.
Yeah, all right.
And I can't even. I'm not even going to blame him.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I thought that was weird. Jordan Mailata, 68.
How many receivers went over 1,000 yards this year?
I would
I'll have to look
imagine
that
a
up.
lot. But how many receivers have this pitiful, sucky offense?
Yeah,
That doesn't throw the ball a lot. So it's an odd list. We'll share that coming up here. Also, we have some news here that's interesting. The Cowboys are looking to take one of our own.
It is Cowboy season. It
sure
is
is.
Cowboy season. You wake up with ESPN in the morning, Greeny, he's going to mix in a Cowboy topic one way or the other.
The Cowboys are trying to poach somebody of the Eagles.
Huh.
And we'll tell you who that is coming up as well. And then we have some audio associated with that. 610-632-0975, 610-632-0975. By the way, the deal of the week, Sean Brace. It's an amazing offer.
I love the deal of the week.
Which page is it on? The first, the second, the third, or the fourth?
The second. I think it's the last one, right above the 12 o'clock hour.
Oh, okay.
Makes
Right
a
where
lot of
it goes to. You a skier? Did we talk about this before?
A long time ago, I tried snowboarding. Yeah, I do it all.
Remember Danny Quimby? Used to be a big listener to the John and Sean show. He messaged me today saying, when are you bringing that back?
Oh, let's do it.
Well, how about this? Camelback Mountain, the deal of the week. It's an open-to-close lift ticket for just $40. That's 12 hours to enjoy everything they offer. 39 trails, fully lit night skiing, high-speed lifts, and it's the largest ski resort in the Poconos. You can get this deal while supplies last at 975thefanatic.com/deals. Coming up, Cowboys are trying to take one of our own. Who is that? And we have this top 100 list as well. Don't go anywhere. Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports
The
Update.
Eagles are looking. The Cowboys may have found their guy. I'm Patricia Caputo with this Fanatic Sports Update. The Eagles' search for the offensive coordinator continues, all while Ian Rappaport just reported the Cowboys are looking to hire Eagles passing game coordinator Christian Parker as their next defensive coordinator. But on the offensive side of things, Zach Berman joined the morning show to discuss the kind of coordinator he believes the Eagles are looking for.
They've been speaking to candidates of all different types of experience. Josh Grizzard has far different experience than Matt Nagy does. I do think they're looking for play calling experience at this point.
And Brian Daboll appears to be off the table as he will either take the head coach for the Bills or the offensive coordinator job for the Titans, according to Diana Rossini. Flyers have off tonight after taking a loss to the Mammoth on Wednesday night. They will look to head to Colorado and bounce back against the Avalanche Friday night. The Sixers will take on the Rockets tonight as they also look to bounce back against the Suns. Embiid is probable. Paul George is questionable. You can listen to Rockets Sixers live starting at 7 p.m. right here on The Fanatic. This update is brought to you by IHOP. IHOP value menu is here. Enjoy breakfast favorites like pancakes, eggs, and bacon, French toast with sausage, or cheesy omelet with pancakes, all for just $6. Go to your happy plates with the $6 IHOP value menu. I'm Patricia Caputo on your home of the Flyers, Sixers, and the Best Birds coverage. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
All right, so Eagles defensive back coach Christian Parker has been interviewing for defensive coordinator jobs. According to Ian Rappaport, the Cowboys are looking to hire Parker as their next defensive coordinator. The deal is not set in stone yet. So deal not done, but early indications are the Cowboys are interested and want to hire him.
Wow. To go from the Birds to the Boys. Oof.
It's a no-brainer.
Yeah, absolutely.
High-profile job. You do a good job.
Yeah, you're getting the gig.
He's one of the, I think he's late 30s.
34, I want to say.
So he's 34. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so he's one of these younger guys. He was in Denver with I think he was in Denver with no, I guess he couldn't have been. He was in Denver, and then he made his way from Denver with Vic, and he's here. So
look, the resume speaks for itself when you can tout Quinyon and Cooper as two guys that you have, groomed into all pros. Yeah, that's going to speak. And again, this is
just turned 34.
I know that his name has been mentioned before. Not to say that I'm dialed in on all these special team coach, defensive back coach, but he's definitely been discussed at some of these openings across the league. So good for him. As you said, it's a no-brainer. But good luck, too, as well. Being down there in Dallas.
Well,
the D stands for drama with that squad.
On his Wikipedia, already has him as defensive coordinator.
Congratulations.
He was with Denver for 3 years. He came over in 24 as the defensive backs coach. He added he's also passing game coordinator as well. So, yeah, there you go. So it looks like that's going to happen.
Another job for Howie and Nick to fill.
That's correct. Do we have Zach Berman this morning from it? All right, here it is.
His expertise on defensive play, number one. He's someone who has a really refined sense of how to play the position in the defensive backfield. I also think he has a macro view in terms of situational football, something when he was with the Packers, he was in the headset with Mike Pettin there, who was the D coordinator. And I think that Christian's done a lot of studying in terms of like situational football, working with the Broncos, working with Vic Fangio. You've seen the success he had with Fangio and being in that tree. So to answer the question succinctly, he's had exposure to a lot of high-level coaches, number one. The proof is in the pudding in terms of the play, Patrick Surtain and Jaquan McMillan and Cooper DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell. I mean, he's done a really good job developing young corners, number two. And then number three, and this is something that you keep hearing, his ability to connect with players across the locker room, different positions, different age profiles. There was one point where he was coaching Darius Slay and Quinyon Mitchell, and he had first-round picks, and then he had undrafted guys like Ray Blankenship. He's been exposed to a lot of different players, and he's had success with a lot of different players. The Eagles are only renting him. He's not here for long, and I think the Eagles know that as well.
Yep. Well, there you go. Looks like he's going to the Cowboys.
That's a tough one.
Yep. And you know what? Like, that's the nature of the business. When you have a good organization, teams are going to want your coaches that are good.
You just don't want to see him staying in the house. I just don't want the Eagles to lose the guy that looks like Ben Swan.
No?
The wide receiver coach, Aaron Moorhead.
Yep. Looks like Vince Vaughn.
Don't lose him. That's all I want. When he's on the sideline, I'm like, you know what? I'm comfortable.
All right, so a couple things here. The top 100 NFL players of the 2025 season, according to Seth Walder. I mentioned who number one was before.
Yes.
Who did I say it was?
Number one was Drake May.
Drake May.
Number three was Matt Stafford.
Yes, who do you think number two is?
Number two, my guess during the break was Puka, but you said it was clickbaitish. I think Puka would have made too much sense. So I'm going to go with somebody probably on the
top 7 are quarterbacks. So it's a quarterback.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, because he talks about MVP. The MVP is always a quarterback. So I guess maybe that's part of it.
Okay.
Stafford 3.
Caleb Williams 2.
Incorrect. Caleb Williams not in the top 7.
Okay.
I'm telling you, it's ridiculous. That number 2 is the quarterback. NFC.
Dak Prescott.
Number 2 on the list, Dak Prescott.
Ah, there it is. See, it's the clickbait. Yeah, that's absolutely what you need to do when you put a list out. There it is.
Yep.
Number 2, throw Dak in there. Dak always puts up the numbers. There's always excuses for the
the NFL's a team sport.
Always.
Even though the quarterback always gets the MVP, but it's a team sport.
It's always, yeah.
So when they suck, it's a team sport. When they're great. Number 4, Josh Allen.
It's fair.
5, Jordan Love. That's Ray's guy. 6, Pat Mahomes. Not this year, homeboy.
Yeah.
Justin Herbert, 7. Puka Nacua is 9. Jackson Smith Enigma 8.
I would have both JSN and Puka higher than what they have.
Miles Garrett, who just said, history is 10.
My Lord.
It's
Miles
10.
Garrett should probably be 2.
All right, so we talked about Quinyon Mitchell 18, which is hashtag respect, man. I mean, he's being considered the best corner in the league.
Stud.
Number 2 is 39. Who would it be? Eagle. The second Eagle on the list.
I want to say Dallas Goedert.
Defensive player.
A defensive player. Yeah, 39 would be too high for Dallas. Defensive player, Cooper
DeJean, 39.
Yeah.
Talk about a draft. Holy cow, man.
Incredible.
Getting those two.
I think it's only been done like 2 times in NFL history, 2 picks in the same draft, all pros. Something along those lines.
Did you see the video of how nervous they were the night before Jeffrey Lurie couldn't sleep because they had to wait an entire day. They wanted Cooper DeJean, and they were trying to find a way to get up there, and then they finally did. And I forget who picked before the Eagles did, but they were like holding their breath, and the minute they picked somebody else, Jeffrey Lurie was like, yes! And there was a celebration because they knew they were getting him.
We are in draft season. I know we are. There's still 4 teams playing. But that was like one of the ones that just really scratched my head at because you knew how good he was, how talented he was. He was being discussed by everybody. That, look, this is the steal. And then he was still available for the
They
Eagles.
worried he wasn't an outside corner, which he's not. But they know how to use him.
Playmaker. Athleticism out the wazoo.
Well, the nickel corner plays all the time anyway. So he plays a combination nickel corner. He'll go outside. He'll play as a safety. He's perfect. All right, Zach Bond at 60, which is stupid. Zach Bond's good. Don't get me wrong. He's not a top 100.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Jordan Mailata, 68. A.J. Brown, 78. That's it. Huh. I don't know who else you put on there.
Dallas.
Well,
you threw up the numbers.
Jalen Carter, but didn't have the numbers.
Jalen Carter, yeah.
The
bread man.
Jordan Davis. You can make the case Jordan Davis, absolutely. Does Jordan Davis belong on that list before Bond or Brown or Mailata?
That's interesting. Yes, in my opinion, sure. Yeah, definitely Bond, too, as well, I would say, on the defensive side of the ball. There's no way I'm going to put Zach Bond in front of Jordan Davis. Jordan Davis played well. Really good season.
Yeah, you sure did. All right. Well, there you go. That's the first list of the offseason.
Oh, we are in the list time of the year.
You just wait. You had a wrestling take. We got 3 minutes for a wrestling take. It's a Thursday thought.
You want to? Yeah. So this was a segment that we were going to do, and of course he's on the afternoon show, and that's great. But Thursday thought we're going to call it, and it's a take. And one of the things that this is going to irk a lot of people because I can already tell you.
This is anti-wrestling?
It's not anti-wrestling because at the end of the day, I understand wrestling, and it's not to say that I'm a diehard fan, but I'm a fan.
Okay.
All right? Like, I like it. I get it. But wrestling needs to know where it stands. All right? This is Take Thursday, and or Thursday Thought. And my Thursday thought is this, John. I look at wrestling and what they're doing now. Where ESPN, they're showing it. Sports Center, they're showing it. It's all over the place. And I just,
now they're on ESPN?
Yeah, I get it.
Isn't that right?
But they're rolling things out, and it's not to say that it's not a legitimate, event. It's entertainment. It's awesome. It's great. But it's not a sport. It doesn't need to be on Sports Center.
The high school athlete of the week is a wrestler.
No.
But you're talking about WWE.
Not Greco-Roman, which is what I follow.
Yeah. I'm talking about WWE. Like, I've had enough of it. Like, stop trying to shove it down my throat as it's something that it's real. And I'll also say this. They put something out, WWE Reels, if I'm not mistaken, if I'm getting it right, where they're showing you how the sausage is made, John. And that's really irking me. Like, they are literally showing the communication, they're talking to the wrestlers, and it's just like, wait, what are we doing right now?
You don't want to know how it's made.
No, that's part of the appeal with wrestling. So, number one, put wrestling back where it belongs. Get in the corner. I want you on for Saturdays. I want you Monday Night Raws, and then let's keep it moving. Now they're shoving it down our throats, ESPN, Sports Center, like it's almost like it's an NFL game. It's not. And, oh, by the way, stop telling me how it's made. I don't need to know this. Nobody needs to know this. That's part of the appeal when it comes to wrestling.
I like it. No, it should not. It's not a sport. So it needs
It's entertainment.
It needs its own coverage, not on ESPN.
Yes.
SportsCenter doesn't need to. I don't need to hear about it.
Like when they cut in and it's just shoved. It's forced. Let me just say that it's forced because you said they
have a relationship.
They have the relationship, so they got to show it. But it's like, all right, you're showing me Laker highlights, and it's like, oh, we got to go to Becky Ross and the tag team title. Like, wait a minute,
John Cena turned heel.
Yeah. Like, come on now. And again, this is coming from a place of love, wrestling fans. I went to WrestleMania. I honestly do enjoy wrestling, but we got to know. You got to know your role, as they say.
All right, coming up, YouTube chat recap. We also been talking about Chris Long and what he's saying about Hurts and the offensive coordinator. We have that coming up next. Don't go anywhere. Middays with Marks 97.5. The Fanatic for 1 o'clock hour brought to you by Morgenstern Hair Restoration. Championship results. Visit morgensternhair.com or call them 610-831-HAIR.
Kincade and Salciunas, 6 to 10.
All right, we're back middays with Marks. I actually thought about this during the break. I have no problem with them showing you the inside of everything in wrestling. If it's something that you want to watch, you don't want to know, you want to pretend it's real, then pretend it's real and don't watch. I don't know. I'm curious to know what Triple H is doing during a match, what the communication is.
It's how the sausage is made.
Kevin Keenan, who I worked at the other place, and he moved on, but he was a WWF referee.
Okay.
And he did it for like however many years.
That's how they communicate.
And then he got out. No, I know. It's a lot that goes into it.
Oh, yeah. It's an impressive
I'm curious of
operation. I don't know. I guess I'm kind of old school where it's like, give me Monday Night Raw. Give me the Saturday mornings. All right, let's just calm it down.
You want to say your prayers and eat your vitamins. Is what you want.
I'm a real American, man.
When I was in high school, a girl did an entire persuasive speech on how WWE is real. And that's when my beef with WWE kind of started.
Wow.
Because it was not a bad speech, but it was like all the facts were pointing, it's just not real. And that's okay.
But she knew it wasn't real.
Yeah, she was a senior at the time. So,
Right.
But we were in a public speaking class, and she was doing a persuasive speech trying to persuade us.
I got you.
It is real.
Well,
I got you. She's probably very smart.
I'll say this much. It's impressive what they do day to day. And I'll even take it out of WWE. When WrestleMania was in town, and this is what happens, like they go and do shows. Like I saw this one minor league wrestling. They took over South Street. These people were going through glass, going through tables. Like, these people are insane. And I love it. It's great. Like I said, it's entertaining, but I kind of want
some idiot getting piled right on the street in South Philly.
I just say get back in the shadows a little bit. That's all.
I like it. All right. Let's hear from Chris Long. Oh, the offensive coordinator search in Philadelphia. Jalen Hurts. Everybody hates him. Nobody wants to be his offensive coordinator, right? Like, that's what it's going to turn into.
Yep.
And then they're going to hire whoever. But here's Chris Long talking about Hurts and who they should be looking at, et cetera.
They need to hire a cheat code offensive coordinator, okay? We talk about this thing a lot. Like bring somebody out of retirement or find somebody who's aged out or is not. Find yourself a Dennis Allen because you have one on defense, and his name's Vic Fangio. He's not getting a head coaching job. He doesn't want one, I don't think. Find a Josh McDaniels. I know it's easier said than done.
Yes.
Because Jalen Hurts, if he's your guy in the future, and he's got deficiencies for sure, but he's had to deal with a different coordinator every year. And, I know other guys that have had to deal with that. There's like Baker Mayfield and that sort of thing, but the variability has just been too up and down. And so you got to find somebody, if he's your quarterback of the future, to give him some, I don't know what the word would be, some familiarity year in and year out.
I hear you, Chris.
Oh, yeah.
I'll take a gummy with you coming up in a couple minutes, all right?
So dial up Joe Gibbs is what he's saying.
Yeah, I mean, what, you don't think that they would like that?
Get him out of pit lane and dial up Joe Gibbs.
How old's Joe Gibbs these days?
How about Kevin Gilbride? Is he still with us? Let's get Kevin Gilbride.
Is he available? Marty Morningweg?
Mike Martz from the having these guys, honestly, joking. They're all coaching and now in the other leagues.
Are they?
The UFLs, the AALs, the whatever they are.
The NHL? No.
Yeah, right. Look, I get what he's saying, and he is right about the Vic Fangio. There's no argument, and that has been said multiple times. You got to go out there and find a Vic Fangio.
Right, but they don't exist on offense. The guys that are that good, like Vic Fangio had a shot at being a head coach. Normally, like the guys that are Jim Johnson, Vic Fangio, should have been Buddy Ryan. The defensive coaches aren't the same as head coaches, right? Yeah. The offensive coaches are the head coaches. So, yeah, no, Baltimore struggled with finding an offensive coordinator year after year. They had to move around to a bunch of guys. It's part of what you have if you don't have an offensive coach. The problem is you do have an offensive coach, but nobody wants him to be involved in the offense, Nick Sirianni. So now you got to act like you don't have an offensive head coach, so you're constantly going to be going out. So if the Eagles were to hire a young play-by-play guy that bursts onto the scene and he's really smart and he has a great scheme and he's a great play caller, he's going to be gone after a year. If you hire a Kellen Moore that is a guy that hasn't been a head coach but is a respected offensive coordinator and he comes in and he has a great year, he's probably going to get a head coach.
Correct.
So what do you do? mean, it has to be just part of what it is.
That's how I would go, and I believe that's how Howie Roseman is approaching it as well. It's a badge of honor if you lose a guy due to the fact that your team had success. And it's one of those things that you'll deal with. I just don't think it's in their best interest to go with somebody that doesn't have the experience.
Probably
not. I get it. Charlie Weiss Jr. looked really good at Ole Miss.
No
Understood. No, thank you.
So, and a criticism of that with the Eagles is Andy Reid could go from, well, he had this offensive coordinator and he left, so then you had the next offensive coordinator came in and he was fine, right? You were able to go through the cycle a couple of times. The Eagles haven't been able to do that. They haven't been able to have an in-house replacement that stepped up and became the offensive coordinator was good. Because the 2 times that it's happened, they failed miserably. And they've had to bring in somebody from the outside. Andy Reid, when he lost Marty Morningweg, it was Childress or it was the other way around, right?
There's a name. Where's he doing?
Marty Morningweg, he did an interview with somebody recently I saw.
I haven't heard that name in a little while. That's a good one.
He was talking about the Eagles. So they need to develop these younger coaches, and that's what Petula was supposed to be. That's what Brian Johnson was supposed to be. And the problem was that they didn't do it.
Yeah.
They didn't develop into those guys.
Man, it does feel like Matt Nagy is going to be the name.
So if they decide there's nobody out there that's really impressing us, at least we know he's a professional. We bring him in. There's something to him.
Andy still has the phone of Jeffrey Lurie. Mr. Lurie, he's going to call him. Hey, Matt's a good guy. Make the call. I won't be shocked if it's Matt Nagy.
I won't either.
Will you be disappointed? Is there anybody that's going to disappoint you?
Is there anybody that's going to excite me?
That's another way of looking.
A young guy would, but then again, like you had said, that young guy comes with risk.
Joe Brady excites me.
Joe Brady excites me. That's who I want.
Yep.
Joe Brady. Can we get that? Joe Brady excites me from Sean. Let's get to the YouTube chat recap. Go.
It's time for the YouTube chat recap.
How about filling us in? Let me tell you something else, man.
Watch us live on YouTube every single weekday.
I can't lie. Let me tell you something.
It's the Middays with Marks YouTube chat recap.
All right, hit me.
John, just remember who the real star of your show is and who the women of Philadelphia actually want to hear on the airwaves. Ray from Northern Liberties.
I thought they were going to support Patricia. Nope.
No, Ray's on
Ray
the YouTube
said it,
chat
apparently.
recap. Yep.
Oh.
Allegedly.
Ray from Northern Liberties. That's where Ray lives.
Interesting.
Yep. Is he Northern Liberties or Fishtown? I don't even know.
I have no idea.
He's probably Fishtown.
More Fishtown than No Libs.
Just saying.
He's not Kensington, though.
No. Ray's doing all right, but there's a difference. There's a Fishtown and No Libs.
I'm not talking about the K&A. I'm talking about the new.
I lived on Girard Avenue, 17th and Girard, right across the street from St. Joe's Prep. I said Fairmount. I didn't live in Fairmount.
Yeah, no, believe me. If you're looking to buy property, you see a lot of Fairmounts that aren't really Fairmount.
Yeah.
Because I lived and owned in Fairmount.
That's it.
And Girard ain't Fairmount, man.
No, definitely not.
All right, what's next?
I bet John feels all the tomatoes, cantaloupes, lemons, oranges, and grapes in the supermarket as well, with those disgusting morning hands. Mopar from the YouTube chat.
Mopar, listen, you're not going to find cleaner hands in the place.
I bought peach. Yeah, he is very clean. I bought peaches yesterday. Good peaches. Brought them home. My wife was like, it's not peach season.
It's not.
But they look good in the box.
Are they?
They were from Chile.
So are they good or you don't know yet?
I haven't eaten them, but they felt good.
Well, Mopar's correct. I do. You know that if you Google how to select the right cantaloupe and watermelon, it will tell you how to make sure you're getting the sweet ones and the good ones and not the crappy ones.
There's a method to the madness.
Right. Well, and it's not necessarily touch. It's more of the look of it, right? Like you can tell where the sweet spots are on the watermelons.
Oh, yeah?
And it's foolproof. It's actually true. Oh. So I am a good produce picker. I do squeeze the grapes to make sure they're not
you
loose.
Squeeze grapes? Wow, I never heard that. I heard one about garlic the other day. When you see roots, the garlic's from America.
Really?
Because you can't ship it when it doesn't have roots, or it has roots. You can't ship it apparently. There's things you learn.
Good garlic information.
Good garlic.
All right, what's next?
How many times do John and Brace brush their teeth in a week? Ish from the YouTube chat.
Before I go to bed, and by the way, Ish, I floss too. How about that? I wouldn't be able to go to sleep without flossing.
You floss or you pick?
Pick.
Yeah, I'm a pick guy too as well.
Yeah,
I'm 2 times. I'm morning and night.
Okay.
Let's not get too crazy here. I wish I brushed 4 times a day, whatever.
I also have a water pick, Trish.
Ooh, that's a good
I
score.
heard those work well.
Yeah.
I have 2 water picks. I got a new one, too. And you know where I do it? In the shower.
Oh, that's strong.
Oh.
Yeah, the shower is a good spot.
It's messy if you don't.
Yeah.
So therefore, in the shower, it doesn't matter if you get water all over.
I shave my head in the shower.
I turned my stepmom's on accident one time, and I couldn't shut it off.
The water pick?
I didn't know how it worked, and it was going
Shot in the
everywhere.
eye. Yeah.
Yes.
You got to watch out the water pick. That's why I do it in the shower.
The dentist always tells me to get a water pick.
Water picks are good. Yep.
I mean, I got enough clutter on the sink countertop already. Now I got to add another device.
another
It is
device.
large.
And the wife has got 6 different
And it
things
needs
for the
to be
hair.
by the outlet because it has to be plugged in or
yeah.
charged. Dr. Pastor, the worst for dentist, he told me about the importance of flossing. I started doing it. My gums aren't receding like they once were.
Nice.
It really helped.
Good.
All right, any more?
John doesn't have a carpet in his house. It's just a thick structural layer of maybe dirty flannels. If Bayless from the YouTube chat.
Actually, I do have a carpet. In fact, I slid and fell down the steps.
Ooh,
last week.
That's gotta hurt.
I slid down the steps. I landed on my back. I was lucky because I had done the same thing before, and I broke 2 ribs.
You broke ribs before?
Yep.
Dude.
Falling down the steps. Yep.
What happened when you broke ribs? Just pain?
I mean, it didn't get better, and I went to urgent care, and they're like, "Yeah, you have 2 fractured ribs on the back." So it didn't affect my breathing. It was just really painful. They don't do anything for
No, I was gonna say you can't cast up.
No, you can't. There's no cast.
Are you taking pills for a week?
No.
Wow.
No, you just take ibuprofen. No, I wasn't like getting oxys or
You're an
anything
animal.
like that from it. Whatever.
Well, I would just say that seems painful.
It was.
All right.
All right. Any more?
John, you definitely wash your hair with Miracle Whip. Andy from the YouTube chat.
Sometimes I do Head and Shoulders. Other times I just do my regular body wash because it also triples as a, you can wash your hair with it.
Nice.
I do like Miracle Whip, by the way. There you go.
Nice.
YouTube chat recap. We're back tomorrow.
Yes, back at it on a Friday.
Yeah, we're back tomorrow. Good job there, Caputo. Coming up next, how about this show today? Ray Dunn. Is it Dunn and Gun?
Dunn and Gun. Ooh, that is strong. That sounds
good.
That sounds like a country group right
Brendan
there.
Dunn, Ray Dunn.
Yeehaw!
Dunn and Gun.
Come and get you some.
Unfiltered with Dunn and Gun has a better.
And this is on TV.
It's on TV, and it's a better ring than Ricky Batalico and Bill Calarulo. It rolls right off your tongue.
Dunn and Gun, come and get some.
Dunn and Gun, come and get some. That's coming up next. Talk to you tomorrow.